Hail, hail, weary travelers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Arcanarama. I am Cameron Holt. I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I'm joined as always by the inspirational Arcana crew. Blow a kiss to your favorite viewer, Arcana crew.
Oh my god.
Before we begin announcements, if you wouldn't mind, Arcana crew, I've placed some cards in front of each of you. I've prepared a character for each of you for your segment of announcements on this show. And I believe, I forgot to ask about it, but I believe the viewers at home will know what characters each of you are playing. However, the others at the table will not. So once we get through announcements, we'll go through and try to guess who everyone is.
Oh, okay.
So, starting us off, let's take it over to Tay-Tay's Crazy Corner for some words about our sponsors.
Shit. You said I could take my time, right?
Really breathe it in.
Yeah, whatever like exercises you guys need to do to prepare yourselves.
Fun.
I get...
Okay, what are the sponsors? Did that just... I read that card. I read that card and it wiped my mind. Okay, hello there. What are you doing out there? Come in here. What? Come on. Alright, we've got Armadillo Aleworks. They are fantastic. You have to have them. They have liquids. They have other stuff, events, things of that nature. Alright, don't leave. What about more fun comics and games? You into that? That's something you like? They have miniatures. They provide the giveaways for the show. You gotta come see them. What else they got? Comic books. They got an online store. Something I'm not aware of. I don't know what those things are.
You got any of those miniatures on you? What they're giving away?
Yeah. You can win this if you want. It's a mystery box. You can't. I can't tell you what's in it, but there is something in it. So you can have it if you enter whatever Cameron says to enter. And the Gilded Rogue, another one of our wonderful wares here. If you want to buy it. I don't know how to do this. I didn't want to buy too much time doing it. But the Gilded Rogue, if you buy some D&D inspired merch of some sort, you can plant a tree, can't you? So do that. All this shit's in our about section. You don't have to come in here. It's creepy. You can do that if you want. That's the best I can do. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, that felt shorter. That felt shorter than that felt like forever and no time.
Wonderful. All right. And now to tell us about our own wares, Kitty, take it away.
Whoa.
Rip it, okay?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Kickflip? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I should have bought more time.
Hi, everybody.
Oh no.
We've got shorts, and you can find them if you go to the about section. There's a merch tab. You can click on it. It'll take you right where you want to go. But on March 27th, we're having a little photo shoot, and that's going to get us ready to open up a new website. And we'll have a brand new shop with all new merch, and it's going to be just...
Wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder who.
Thank you, Kitty. And now...
Wait, what if I'm stupid?
And now, to tell you how to find us on social media, we'll head over to Sam. Sam,
Hey, baby, come on over here. You ever heard of the About section? I'll take you there.
I'm so scared.
All right, so our social medias, it's, you already know what it is, but I'll let you know again. You're gonna want to go to @Arcanarama Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us at Arcanarama on TikTok. That's the one that the kids go to. I'll take you there if you want me to. Why are you calling the police? They don't gotta be involved in this. Cameron, take this away from me. I don't want to be here anymore.
Thank you, Sam. Wonderful. And finally, it's time to do our weekly vibe check with Miranda. Take it away, Miranda.
Oh.
We could have read it. We could have read it early.
Yeah, I thought you were going to.
Yeah, I thought everybody
I did,
was.
but
Yeah.
I just had to look at it again.
Oh.
I thought it was okay.
I thought we were all waiting until our turn.
Oh.
That way we all had like the same amount of time to work. Okay. Okay. Hello. I was sent to ask, how are you, and how is your family? How are your dice rolling? I hear this Dungeons and Dragons game is really popping off with the you. I haven't really seen dice since, I snuck out of my house in like 1964. Oh man. Oh God. I snuck out. Me and this boy, we went on this lovely adventure. We did what do they call it? A little bit of the reefer. Beautiful times in the back seat of that pickup truck in 1964. Oh God, you guys weren't even a twinkle in your father's
My parents
eyes.
weren't born yet.
Your parents weren't even. Oh man, wow. How did it go? How?
Natural 20.
Oh my God! Wow. I haven't seen two 20s like that.
220?
I looked in my wallet in 1970.
That's like $400 back then.
Oh man, in 1972, I looked at two 20s and I rubbed them together. Wow. Hey, how are your vibes? I think.
14.
Oh man, wow. The last time I saw 14, I swear, I think it was. Oh my God, 1970.
It'd be amazing if there's nothing written on her card.
When I was 14, oh man, oh God, I think it was like 1956 when I turned 14. Oh man. Oh.
At some point, we're going to have to start doing a show.
How
Remember, it was
did your...
2022 the last time we did a show. I got a 9, didn't I?
Oh, ooh, man.
Yeah, I got a 9.
Man.
Middle of the road.
When was the last time you saw a 9?
The last time I saw a 9. Oh my God. When I woke up this morning at 5:45 a.m. and I waited until 9 a.m. to go bother my grandchildren. They're up at 9, right? You guys get up at 9?
No.
Is it not 9?
Yeah.
I was told it was 9.
Like noon.
That's probably why they were so upset that I called. Hey, how are your vibes?
I got a 17.
17! Oh man, when
That's pretty
I was
accurate.
17, I was a queen of dancing. Oh God. When I was 17, oh man, me and the
Are
girls.
we guessing?
Yeah,
what everyone
wonderful.
has?
I don't
Thank
know.
you. All right. So yeah, if you guys would like to go around, we'll go in order. If you guys want to guess who you thought, and keep in mind these are all kind of like vague characters, not specific names
Yeah.
for the most part. Who do you guys think Taylor was portraying?
Police officer hunting down Jack the Ripper.
Time
Is that why
period.
he invited us into his home?
Yeah. time
I
period.
thought we were being investigated.
Oh.
Or about to be murdered. Were you Jack the Ripper?
No, you wouldn't be alive to ask that question.
Oh, you'd kill us for real to stay in character?
Are you calling us whores?
Yeah.
You're right, because we're doing this for money.
Any other guesses?
Not a clue.
I looked at my phone when he was up, so I don't want to guess
Yeah,
because
I forget you guys have the
That's
stream
right.
going on your
I don't.
devices.
I don't.
I've been trying very hard not to look at
all of
Miranda's.
it. Something about the 1800s was on there.
Taylor, if you want to let us know it.
I was an
What was it?
1800s street urchin trying to get you to buy my wares.
Oh.
A mad one.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
So kind of Jack the Ripper. Listen, if we're going on a point system, I feel like I got that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely closest. All right, we're gonna speed this up. We're gonna keep going.
We should get these on Friday. It's like
Guesses for Kitty.
Were you
That defeats.
Sylas?
That's not improv.
No.
That's just acting.
sorry.
Betty Boop?
Betty Boop.
But what was she?
Drunk?
Stupid?
Drunk Betty
Yeah,
Boop?
Betty Boop. Betty Boop on a bender. It's
Yeah.
hard to think of Betty Boop, but then also, but drunk. But also remember to talk about the new shop and the website.
Yeah. I thought Betty Boop was always drunk.
I think that's just how she was drawn.
Work's been kind of slow since cartoons went to color.
Yeah.
Hi, Eddie.
You were
Yeah, guesses for
a
Sam.
New York street tough.
A taxi driver.
A taxi driver? Does your taxi driver talk to you that way?
I've never been in a
Not in Texas.
Texas. I mean, yeah, I was a catcalling New York construction worker.
We just talked about that.
I really wish you would just.
Miranda, what were you? I'm not making guesses. What
See, I thought
was
about it, but
that?
then I realized that you can't see my hands under
Okay.
the table and didn't
Does-
want things.
does anybody
Okay, I
have-
will guess, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anybody have any guesses
A
before she tells
lost
us?
grandma?
A woman close. A woman who, like, every number reminds her of her life memory. That's what it
You're
was.
not wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna go with that.
A boomer trying desperately to relate to the Gen Z crowd.
Oh.
That's the one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's
Great work,
great.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
before we hop into tonight's episode, we do have one more giveaway this evening. So I will let you know how to enter the first giveaway for the mystery box, which comes with anywhere from four to five. Oh, is it always four?
It says 4.
Rad. It comes with 4 mystery minis from different themes. This one is specifically tailored towards the Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Sorry, I
so-
didn't say it.
So there's probably some fake goodies in there
You're
waiting
busy.
for you. They typically contain kind of like a larger mini and then a number of smaller minis, which
Yeah.
is pretty rad. If you caught the last episode of Overdark on last Monday, then you saw a Fomorian that was pulled from a box very much like this.
Pre-painted, of course.
I will let you know how to enter that giveaway right before we go to our break, and I will announce the winner when we come back from our break in the middle of the show. And then I will announce how you can enter our second giveaway for the evening. The Aged Bronze Dice from Fantasy Forge Dice. They are not actual bronze, they are resin dice, but they are bronze colored, and colored to look as like patinaed bronze. They've got kind of like a turquoise and sparkly brown feel to them, and I personally think that they are gorgeous, and you would be lucky to have them.
That's an unbiased opinion, right?
Yeah, totally unbiased. I don't like make them or anything. It's not like I sell those. But if you did want to buy some, there's a link in our About section to the Fantasy Forge Dice Shop. And there is actually a sister set to this set of dice. So if you don't win it tonight and you're like, man, I really wanted that, there is one still available on Etsy as we speak.
Hey, do they still get a discount if they...
They do, because I haven't removed it yet, because I keep forgetting. If you enter the discount code Weary Travelers in the Fantasy Forge Dice Shop on Etsy, when you go to checkout, you will get 20% off of your purchase. So
Whoa.
that's pretty rad.
That's so much.
It is. It actually is quite a good chunk. Wonderful. Well, unless I'm forgetting anything, which is very possible at this point in time.
I'm going to memorize a sponsor script, and whatever you throw at me from now on is going to
Ooh.
be practically read.
Challenge
I'm
accepted.
not playing that bad
I want
performance
this to
game
stop.
anymore.
Perfect. Well, I think it's time to go twice as high and take a look inside some books in tonight's episode of Arcanarama.
Previously on Arcanarama. The Mistwalkers, with the help of myself, Bishop Clef Kaimos, and another acolyte from the Temple of Celestian, questioned the dead body of Astroloth Vindalor, learning a bit more about the Silver Stake's motives in Mistanor. Conversing a bit more with myself, our intrepid heroes also learn that the being haunting Sylas' dreams is known as a Night Hag. While taking their rest within the Temple of Celestian, Sylas is once again visited by the Hag, and finally makes a deal to meet on an even playing field, the island of Rovengul, within Lake Mindileth, 2 from the night the deal was struck. While our heroes found their rest, the city guard from Kalima recovered the form-altered Roscoe Sampson and transported him along with Cressel Flintwick to the Wiltbloom College of Magic in Kalima, where the scholars will attempt to return his form and mind back to their natural states. Thus, the Mistwalkers set off for Wiltbloom. They were accosted on the road by a group of starving bandits, on which our heroes took pity, gifting them hundreds of gold and their animated cart to boot. Finally arriving at the vibrant jungle city of Kalima in the night, our heroes located Wiltbloom College, where they met one of the 2 deans of the school, Veldwin, the Dean of the Vein, a handsome silver fox of a vampire. Gaining access to the Wiltbloom Library due to Cholula's mother's involvement with the school, our heroes set off to learn what they can with the knowledge provided to them by the school. What secrets will our heroes uncover at Wiltbloom College? Will the Hag honor her word and wait for the promised showdown with Sylas? Was Rabbit truly raised by a dragon? How high up in the Silver Stake hierarchy are Aurora's parents? Find out right now on Arcanarama.
And welcome back. We begin yet again right where we left off. You're following the wide Goliath frame of Welby Durgington, who leads you to the entrance of Widdershan's Hall, the massive collection of pods in the form of a tree in the center of the bog that is... I'm sorry, I just went into a nursery rhyme in my head. In the form of a tree within the bog that is Wiltbloom College of Magic in Kalima. You briefly entered this space during your search of the campus for Dean Valdwin, so you're all kind of vaguely familiar with the dark wood interior. However, Welby leads you up to the 2nd floor to a large archway. He places his hand upon a pedestal beside the arch, and there's a low hum before a massive, beautiful painting materializes within the archway. The painting depicts a beautiful scene of a massive courtyard bathed in daylight. A large stone statue of an elf in mage robes is surrounded by a circular fountain, flanked by spire-like buildings and towers. Angular hedges shaped into spirals decorate the courtyard, and massive stones of alternating sizes float in the air, suspended in a large arc around the statue, like the tick marks of a clock almost. A few brief moments pass before you realize that the image is animated, and then you feel the breeze that emanates from the space. The Biblioplex is right this way, my dudes. Follow me. And he turns and steps across the threshold, and you see that this is not a painting, but in fact a large portal that has been opened.
Ooh.
Following Welby across this beautiful courtyard and this, worth noting, it is early in the morning. The sun was just rising as you entered Widdershan's Hall, but there is now the sun hangs kind of like in the midpoint of the sky, like it's noon. It's a nice temperate day, not hot and muggy like it was in the swamp-like region of the rest of the campus. And as you follow Welby, massive stone arches welcome inquisitive minds to the Biblioplex. Inside, almost every surface from the floor to the high ceiling is jammed with stacks of books. The interior of the library, you quickly learn, is incredibly vast, with long hallways, archive chambers tall enough to have their own weather, and even pools and moat passages crossable only by boat. It quickly begins to sink in that it may take some time to find any information that you are looking for within this space. Here you are, my dudes! good luck in your academic endeavors, and may you find the knowledge your minds seek. May our paths cross yet again in the tangled web that is reality, bros.
Wait, before you dart off,
What's up?
how are we organized here? Are we Dewey Decimal? Is it?
Yeah, so there's like different pods that are organized by the Dewey Decimal System, but they're also separated into different categories. Like you've got your magical section that is focused more on magical learning in terms of spells, plants, and chemicals and things of that nature. And then you've got your history section that is going to be pretty unrelated. But, it talks about the history of Mistinor as well as the other continents on this floating rock that is rocketing through space known as Kavora that we all find ourselves upon.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like all kinds of stuff. If I could list off every section, but we'd probably be standing here for like 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yes.
And also, I'm totally lying. I don't even know what all of it is.
That's
So-
fair. No, I like the library I worked at. I really only sit in like 3 sections, so I feel ya. Thanks for the heads up. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course, my dudes. Let me know if you guys need anything, but maybe don't because I've got schoolwork to do, and I do not work in the library.
Thank you for the offer. Is there an usher of some sort that we could...
There are various librarians appointed to the various spaces that you can get in touch with, and they can help you find things that you are looking for.
That's what we needed. Thank you very much.
Rad. Take care, my dudes. And Welby turns and exits the Biblioplex back out into this massive courtyard.
Oh, dudes. Dudes. Dudes.
So, you find yourselves within a vast library of historical and magical knowledge. What would you all like to do?
Is there like a card catalog?
So, for the sake of
I'm gonna find a
not
person to
spending
help me.
3 hours in a library for this session,
Yeah.
which we could, which may very well happen, but just for the sake of not having to roleplay every interaction with every librarian in every section, I want you guys to tell me how much time you would like to spend searching for things within the library and what things you are searching for. Then we'll go around. I will have each of you make an investigation check for whatever it is that you're looking for. And we'll go from there and see what information you find.
Did we set a time that we were going to meet the other dean?
Tomorrow.
Like 11? Oh, the next day? Okay.
The next day, yes. Not the day that is just beginning.
Okay.
Also worth noting, you have that set meeting. You also were told that you have your pass to the library is good for 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But Dean Baldwin also let you know that if you needed more time to just get in contact with him and he would work something out.
Yeah.
Okay. What
So-
do you think? Like 2 hours?
Maybe 3 just to be safe. I mean, I think we got a lot of ground to cover.
I will also say, to find anything of note or anything helpful in a library as vast as this, as I said earlier, it has its own weather systems in different sections. We're probably talking days instead of hours in terms of finding useful things, because there's a lot of information here, and not all of it is useful information.
I can show you the comfiest places to camp out if we end up sleeping in here.
I'm going to find someone who can help me spool through this, I think. I'm going to be looking in the way of night hags in particular, unless there was something else I needed to be researching.
So we'll probably spend like our full pass amount of time here, but we'll like break to go meet with people.
Perfect. So yeah, we'll say that.
Like at lunch.
Yeah, for now you're spending your 48 hours searching the library.
Yeah.
And you will take a break at the beginning of your second 24 hours to go and have your meeting with Calandria, the dean of the Root.
See you.
So,
24 hours number 1.
what are each of you looking for? Sylas said information on night hags, correct?
Information on night hags, correct. And also the Fae? if like fey beings, how they can, like those two things conjoined, I guess. Like starting with Night Hags and seeing if that could twist, because I think the information we got was this was not a normal Night Hag or something. It was just a little bit odd.
Okay. Wonderful.
Well, firstly, a person to help me find that, and then that.
I don't know what just happened to me.
So much.
I hit my hand and hiccuped and burped at the same time, and I'm a mess of a person.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. Grip it and rip it. Cholula, what is Cholula looking for?
I think Cholula was going to be looking more for like historical records and trying to find any like school paper type of like publication, see if she can find anything about her family.
Okay, so
And-
specifically looking into the Duvet family within the library.
Yeah, and there was another thing. There wouldn't be anything on the silver stake, would there? Because they're like elusive.
You're not sure. You know they've been around for several years. You could look into it if you'd like.
I'll look into it.
Perfect. All right. That and Silver Stake. What is there anything that Rabbit is curious in looking into, or is she going to help somebody out, or what is her deal?
Yeah, Rabbit's curious about a lot, so every couple of hours she's on a rotation to find a new one of her new party members and bother them.
Perfect. So not helping, but hindering.
She can be helpful if they direct her, but she's never been in a library. This is all fake.
Perfect.
My brother's in Hag.
She's investigating them more than the space.
Okay, rad. And what is Aurora looking into?
Alrighty. Hey, can I look for 3 things?
Sure.
Can I...
I will also say those of you that are looking into multiple subjects will have higher DCs on your investigation checks to find those things because your time is spent
Divided.
More divided, yes.
Okay.
Cool. Then, can I, first of all, look into the Trollvane ruins?
Okay.
See if I can find any information or leads to what happened. If I could find anything on the frozen waterfall outside of Lutgrieve with the trap lady underneath.
Okay.
Or anything about how to release someone sort of trapped by their emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, if I could look up how specifically to hurt a Night Hag, because I know that the fight is coming up.
Okay. I will say, knowing that Sylas is going to look into the Night Hag as well, would you like to spend some of your hours giving Sylas the help action to give him advantage on his roll?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, let's go around and make some investigation checks. Sylas, you can make yours with advantage
Alright.
because Aurora is going to help you out for a portion.
Guess what?
No.
It's 2 Fs.
Hell yeah, natural 20 and a 3. It's worth noting.
Yeah, I saw that one first and was too scared to look at the other.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm gonna do the rolls first, and then we'll have.
Yeah, and then we'll go through
Okay.
one by one. Cholula, your investigation check, please.
Then
10? All right. Not great, but not terrible. And Aurora.
I would like to make a nuisance roll.
Who would you like to give disadvantage to?
Babies.
I was like, I don't think that's anyone but me. 21.
Not bad. Wonderful. Well, we will go in that order. We'll say that Aurora spends the first portion of her search with Sylas. The two of you, with the aid of a librarian, are pouring through tomes for the better part of 6 to 7 hours before you come across a helpful little book. For the ease of my brain, I'm essentially just going to read you guys the entry on Night Hags. Because that was a very good roll for both of you. And I will also go so far as to read select portions of the Night Hag's stat block to you, Sylas, because you rolled a fucking natural 20, because of course. Sly and subversive. Oh my god. Sly and subversive. Night Hags want to see the virtuous turn to villainy. Love turned into obsession, kindness turned into hate, devotion to disregard, and generosity to selfishness. Night Hags take perverse joy in corrupting mortals. Night Hags were once creatures of the Feywild, but their foulness saw them exiled to Hades long ago, where they degenerated into fiends. The Night Hags have long since spread across the lower planes. They are soulmongers. While a humanoid sleeps, a Night Hag can straddle the person ethereally and intrude upon its dreams. I didn't make this up. It's how it's written.
I just like saying straddle, so everyone's just gonna for like half a second.
Yeah. Any creature with true sight would be able to see the hag's spectral form straddling its prey. The ethereal hag fills her victim's head with doubts and fears in the hope of tricking it into performing evil acts in the waking world. The hag continues her nightly visitations until the victim finally expires in its sleep, or comes to a deal that they have both mutually agreed upon. If the hag has driven her victim to commit evil deeds, she traps its corrupted soul in her soul bag for transport to Hades. So essentially they want to corrupt you and then kill you and then take your soul down to hell. Because why not? And specifically for you, Sylas, you find tucked away, not labeled in any way that is really even connected to Night Hags, you find a little journal, a first-hand account of someone who experienced an encounter with the Night Hag.
Uh-oh.
Based on the description.
You can't make this shit up.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is a cat scratching the wall
Just
to
the
bury
wall.
its shit. From the description, and you do have vague little pieces in your memory of seeing kind of echoes of the hag's true form within your dreams. This does not sound like an encounter with the same hag.
Right.
However, you can gather that some of this information probably does carry over. The hag that is referred to in this particular tome was a practiced spellcaster. And on top of its innate magical ability, it could do a number of things. When forced into a corner, it would lash out with its claws. It could also magically change its shape and polymorph into small or medium, usually female, usually humanoid, or back into their true form. But, with access to spellcasting, they could also potentially cast the spell polymorph and turn themselves into various animals and creatures. There's also an innate ability to step into the ethereal plane from the material plane, or vice versa. But to do so, the hag has to have a very particular item in their possession known as a heartstone. Based on the description in this journal, a heartstone is a lustrous black gem that allows the Night Hag to become ethereal while it's in her possession, and apparently can also use the heartstone to touch it to a creature and cure any disease. The creation of a heartstone is in depth, and the rituals involved are unknown. Like most forms of hag magic, it is old and kind of broken and corrupt, and not very well documented, but they do know that it takes, the entry in the journal states that the Heartstone was stolen from the hag, but the dreams returned in 30 days. So you could infer from that with a natural 20 that it took 30 days to create a new stone. And there's one final entry that kind of causes your heart to sink. And it is that not only does the hag have the ability to step into the ethereal plane, but at the very least this particular hag in the account had the ability to use a high-level spell, druidic magic. The writer was unfamiliar, being a wizard. But it seemed to be tied to this small tuning fork, like you'd use for music. And the hag could sound a tone and shift herself into another plane of existence, away from the material plane, away from the ethereal plane. They don't have much writings on how this is done, but it seems like an innate, or rather a learned magic that can be a quick escape should the hag need to evacuate a situation. The account also states that in one instance when the hag tried to use this tuning fork to plane shift away, it was successfully countered. The spell was countered by another practiced wizard. However, it seemed like things were going in their favor, and the hag was able to use this spell again. And that's what you get on a natural 20.
Shit.
Moving on. Cholula, you rolled a 10. Investigating the Duvet family as well as the Silver Stake.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that you come across is a commemorative tome, some would call a yearbook, from, oh God, I know I have the year written down somewhere. I'm not going to look it up right now. It was from 35 years prior to the one we are currently in, which I think is like the 800 and something year. I'll figure that out next time.
Feels good.
Math is hard.
Yeah, feels good. Feels good. Create a whole calendar and then forget everything about it.
There's a calendar that's existed for thousands of years, and I don't even stick to that one.
There is a single photograph within this tome, or rather a painting, I should say, a likeness. Portrait, yes. Of your mother, whose name I absolutely remember. I'm killing it today, you guys.
I
It's
don't
been a long
remember.
day.
Yeah, you are.
I came up with the siblings' names. I didn't do the parents.
I can find it.
Somebody is a Hugo.
Sick.
Yeah, and this is one that I can easily access.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Should the internet cooperate.
What do you mean the internet's being used right now?
You know what? I popped it into this document, actually.
Are we
So
live?
all I need to do is scroll.
What?
Oh, so very.
I didn't want to open the source code, but thank you. All right, here we are. Oh shit! No, you didn't write her name.
I probably wrote it down somewhere.
Fuck. Regardless, you find an illustration of your mother with a class of students, small class, about 6 students. And that's all that you can find is a listing of Professor Duvet and her magical application of the culinary arts class from 35 years ago. If you would like, the librarian can make a copy of this photo for you. Perfect. So you can add to your inventory Mom's yearbook photo.
That should be on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
35 years old.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You don't find any information pertaining to the silver stake.
Does she have to attune to the photo?
Yeah, it takes one of your slots.
No.
Emotional slots. Emotional attunement.
Baggage.
To baggage and then card shuffle.
Yeah, it was a rough one. There's not very many.
Wonderful. Which brings us to Aurora. You rolled a 21. So, I'm going to try and truncate this a bit.
Yeah. Spark notes.
Looking up the Trollvein ruins, you find that the original name of the settlement, the city, before it was ruins referred to as such, was Terelia. That's Terellia. Terelia was a city of mostly elves. I think you had most of this information already, but Terelia was a city of mostly elves that was kind of a mining town that boomed when Trollvein was discovered there, and it became colloquially known as Trollvein, or Trollvein Terelia. And once it was destroyed during the Grimdalian War, the Grimdalian invasion, I should say, several years ago, it has become known only as Trollvein Ruins, as most knowledge about it outside of hard to reach places like this one does not exist in most places anymore. You don't find any information about the specific frozen waterfall and pond that you came across in your travels. However, you do come across there are just volumes upon volumes of books by different authors, professors, scholars, and arcanists studying the wild magic of Mistinor and why it behaves the way that it does. You also, through this research, kind of passively learn that the area that you are currently in, the Biblioplex, and this area is where most of the actual casting of magic within Wiltbloom College takes place, because it is actually within a pocket dimension inside of Widdershan's Hall that is unaffected by the wild magic of Mistinor. Otherwise, being in Kalima this close to Lake Mindaleth, there could be catastrophic danger to those kind of casting frivolously, and students are punished for practicing and casting magic outside of this particular area. It is designated specifically for living spaces, dormitories, and the kind of alchemical arts that don't require the casting of spells per se. Everything else takes place in this pocket dimension, surrounding the Biblioplex, which is kind of like a city of itself. You find a number of references to anomalies where the magic interacts with nature or mirrors emotions, but no solutions, really. Rabbit, what does your day look like?
Okay. So first, I follow Sylas around for a while, usually from a distance, but then sometimes when he looks like he's really wrapped up in something, I just get, like, too close, and I just, like, hover over his shoulder, and then when he gets mad, I run, assuming he's going to catch me and beat me. And then sometimes I look at books, but more so just, like, what's that? That's, well, I'm not gonna know. Sure.
Can Rabbit read?
Yeah, Rabbit
Okay,
can read.
Okay.
just making sure.
She just hasn't spent a lot
Just
of time.
not interested.
Books.
That would have been the whole session.
This isn't the most efficient way to learn. So she moves on. She does put the books back in the wrong place every time.
For
without
sure.
fail.
Yeah, and I would say eventually after the first like probably 2 hours of this, there's a librarian and a number of unseen servants that are just following Rabbit around and
Yeah.
placing everything back where it should be.
Yeah. Then she goes and bothers Aurora for a while, has no clue why she's looking up any of the stuff that she's looking up, because it doesn't seem related to what everybody else is looking up. But she does spend some time just, like, sitting on the table where Aurora is working and picking up things after Aurora has finished them, and then perusing, and then tossing. Probably caught by an
Yeah, they
unseen
are
servant.
caught by unseen servants who are like knocked to the ground because they're so weak, but then carry
Yeah.
the tomes back to their places.
Yeah, and then she spends the rest of the day following Cholula around and probably, like, napping in the vicinity.
Perfect.
That's
Wonderful.
like a time lapse. Just-
Yeah, it's pretty much just, like, a whole bunch of, like... and wandering off.
Putting like a page on her face and blowing it up in the air.
Yeah, or, like, stealing a pen and just kind of twirling it a lot. Like, that, like, mustache
violently.
pen thing. Yeah, she really has nothing to look up. She kind of knows what she's after. She's just along for the ride. So it's kind of just, like, idle time. A lot of idle rabbit animations happening.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Can I roll on that intelligence thing? Because I still have one more slot to get.
Yes, absolutely. I would say there is no better time than within a library. And the natural 20 means that you found that breadth of information that you did relatively quickly with a couple of hours to spare, so you can work on your brain.
Okay.
For those of you who are either just joining us or haven't caught the earlier episodes, we have a system in place that we've kind of homebrewed where essentially a character can spend a 10-day trying to either gain a proficiency in a skill, learn a language, bump up their ability score by 1. That's the big number by 1 point, not the modifier. And in doing so, we set a starting DC, and they make a designated check depending on what they're trying to do. Each day, if they succeed, the DC goes up by 1, and they make their next roll. What's up?
No, I'm sorry. It can wait until after. I'm holding this up for me.
Perfect. So Sylas has been working on, I believe, increasing his intelligence modifier, or his intelligence ability score by 1 point. And based on your celebration,
Yeah, it was an 18 and I needed a 17.
hell yeah. So yeah,
been a rough road.
Silas's intelligence increases by 1 point in his ability score. What does that bring your intelligence to?
That puts it at 14. That was the odd number I wanted to be one
Nice.
more to
Nice.
to give me a +2. Really.
Could I, in this day of pestering my teammates, could I try to get an idea for, like, where everybody's anxiety levels are at about all of the things that we're doing?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay. One for everybody?
Just 1 as a blanket.
Okay.
And then if I could have everyone else... I'll say this, if you are trying to mask your anxiety level, you can make a deception check. If not, it will be openly readable.
18.
Wonderful. 18 is the DC for deception if you're trying to hide how stressed you are. If you are not, please inform Rabbit of how stressed your characters are at this moment.
Too focused on like getting the information and setting out a plan. Like, wouldn't even know if he looked anxious as much as he just is very intent on getting the information he needs.
Would this in itself be something that somebody insightful could read as
Yeah.
an outlet for anxiety?
Yeah, I'd say it's worrisome, like hearing that, you can fight a hag in your sleep, or that it can polymorph.
Yeah.
Every now and then, if something big came up, you'd be like, "Fucking polymorph."
Yeah, I would guess that in the short amount of time that you have known each other, you definitely, with an 18 insight, have noticed that when you first met, the drive to find the nearest alcohol and consume it seems to have shifted into find the nearest knowledge and consume it.
Okay.
It seems like he's just kind of fixating on a different thing.
Okay.
Well, I thought we weren't going to burn each other today.
Cholula
I didn't agree.
seems like, I mean, kind of like frustrated and a little bit bummed out about how her like search is going for information, but like big picture situationally, I think feels more calm now that there is like a time where we're gonna fucking high noon this bitch, and it's not like they just show up in dreams and like we don't know when anything is gonna happen or like how anything is gonna turn out, or like we could be attacked at any moment. And now that there's like we're meeting here this day, she's like, I can deal with that.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that for Cholula, this is the first likeness of any of your family members that you have seen in recent memory.
Yeah. So that's pretty tight.
Yeah. Kind of a big day.
Is there a likeness? Is it striking?
It is. Yeah, it is incredibly, probably like magically recorded in some way. You're not entirely sure, but it is a very good drawing, which is my way of skirting around the fact that there aren't photographs in this universe, but there are photorealistic drawings, because I said so. It is a perfect rendering.
So, if meets it beats it, is it their meets it beats it, or my meets it beats it?
The challenge is presented by that DC.
Yes. So you met the DC, which means you beat the DC.
So Aurora seems fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seem fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, deceptive.
Wonderful. As the first 24 hours come to a close, where do you all find your rest? Which is worth noting, you're kind of pushing close to the edges of exhaustion because technically you've been up for past probably 18 hours at this point.
Yeah, and we've been reading.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I think Sylas has like little readers on the end of his nose that are like half circles.
Yeah, I would say of any
Little tiny
I would say
little
of any of
readers.
you, Rabbit hasn't been reading and has been napping, so she is the furthest from exhaustion.
Yeah.
She's pretty much been taking a short rest all day.
I think we'd probably see if we can find a cozy spot here and see if we can just fall asleep without getting kicked out.
Perfect.
Aurora would like to try to find the conference room.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, Aurora, because of your proficiency with libraries.
She hits the whip in the whole library.
Yo.
Skates
Make a
off.
dexterity saving throw. You fell out of the library.
That's the dimension 24.
24.
My spines.
Yeah, procuring a gondola. You you follow a stream because you know that the conference room is typically in the back wall, usually on the first floor. So yeah, you procure a gondola that is self-driving, and it takes you all along this beautiful flowing blue river across the banks of paper and stone and books to a kind of bland room. That's it's like a big room, and there's a really long table in it with a lot of chairs. No one is in here currently.
Weird gray blue carpet.
Yeah, gray blue carpet,
Yeah.
white walls, but
Gold
slightly beige.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like doesn't match the rest of the aesthetic of this like massive whimsical fantasy library that like it rains in the top corner sometimes. It's just the conference room.
Okay.
I hate it.
Yeah, but okay, so like hear me out. You can move
things
all
on
of
the
the
walls?
chairs in front of the door so that no one can get in. And since we're on the back wall, this is normally where they keep all of the big books with like everyone's like contact information in it. And then you can use those as real big pillows. And the table is always the comfiest to lay on. And you hear me out. Sometimes the conference room has pillows, and sometimes snacks are nearby. I found some in like these big boxed machines. You kind of like push these little buttons, and little snacks pop out. But like
Vending machines are real now.
If I could have you guys
not
make
really.
investigation checks.
Oh.
If you're
That's-
looking for snacks and pillows and things.
I do love a snack.
This is all like
Like an investigation.
hitting strangely close to home.
Yeah, I hate this room.
11.
It's like
11?
6.
6.
16.
I think I found it.
21. I'm having a good
21.
time.
Yeah. Aurora knows
You're in your favorite
everything.
terrain.
She knows everything that there is to know about libraries. Down to, there's, not exactly how she described it, but there's a kind of like slot. There's like a very long, tall box that is bolted to the wall. And at the bottom, there's a little flap that is locked shut, but if you insert a silver piece, it opens and dispenses these little, probably just like burritos.
Yeah. I was thinking granola bars, but absolutely.
You know those,
I
you know
had
those,
a million other ideas for what you just said.
Like a handful of seeds.
you know those, you know those, they are kept warm. You know those like Dixie cup dispensers? It's literally like gravity. It's a gravity feed like burrito dispenser. Yeah,
It's not a big Pez head with burritos in it. That you
No.
can just
Hey,
show.
What's up?
I get 5.
Yeah.
Just holding.
Yeah, go ahead and
how
mark off 5. So yeah, 5 silver pieces is half of a gold. So
I've got to do some conversion.
so add 5 silver and subtract a gold from your.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I only have platinum. No, I have 2 gold. Got it.
Perfect.
Got it.
Get rid of one
Got
of
it.
them and add 5 silver in your set.
Sylas probably grabs 2.
Aurora, you find pillows. There's also this kind of strange alchemical looking contraption on a table on the kind of like far left wall when you right when you enter. And after conversing with Cholula, you discover that this is for making coffee.
see, I told you the conference room is where they keep all the good stuff.
Sylas is just like nose deep in this like young adult wizards novel he found by it's called Hagatha Misty, and he's just like he's so into it.
Hell yeah.
I'm like reading over your shoulder.
It's
Turn, please. The page. I'm finished.
okay, fine.
Are you reading them a story?
I spill some burrito on your shoulder.
You should read it out loud. Oh my
Okay.
god, it'll be like a bedtime story.
It's for research.
Yeah.
It's a really good story.
Oh my god.
It said Hag on it, so I started it. I can't believe she just left him. That's the thing that's bothering me the most.
No, I can believe
I'm
it.
only a
He
couple
was kind of
chapters in.
trash.
Yeah, right?
Sorry about the burrito.
No, it's... What are you saying?
I'm chewing.
There's
Mostly I'm chewing.
there's just burrito on your shoulder now. It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah. What is-
I really think you should read it out loud. It'll be like a little.
Okay, I mean,
Why
I won't be
did it
starting
so-
from the beginning, but...
What did everybody find today? Anything good?
I found a.
Is this Murder on the Windfell Express, or is this 5 Little Owlbears?
Let's go with 5 Little Owlbears.
Perfect.
Okay, I was under the impression that it was like a Twilight type novel about hags.
Oh, the author is not Agatha Christie.
No, the title is
The title
Agatha
of the
Christie.
book.
Oh, that's the title of the book.
Yeah, Agatha
okay.
Christie.
I was on a different page.
Yeah, no, well, yeah,
Just close that tab.
yeah. You could have sent it, but that would have been very odd. Yeah, read that. Sure. Just there are 5 little owlbears.
So, fed, pillowed, you all find your rest within the Biblioplex conference room.
To answer Rabbit's question, I kind of just go over like almost military style the way
Everything that we know.
and then at the very end as like a tail end, kind of like a dissertation, like, and here are my opinions about it. Like,
I
kind
showed
of-
everybody a picture of my mom. Do we look similar?
You do look very similar.
Hell yeah.
She wore her hair differently, and more professional clothing.
Yeah.
But
Moms.
yeah, the likeness is uncanny.
I hope Mom is watching right now.
She doesn't look like she throws knives, but she looks tenacious.
She looks pretty and smart.
Think she was.
Do you know anything about your parents?
I presume that they were elves.
Fair. No, that's fair.
But me dragon mom, she was something.
Well, I imagine she was a dragon. So, excuse me. What are these burritos?
They're
That's
wraps.
what the sign said.
Wraps. Right.
They're like
I think your mouth was full.
little
when you were
wraps
saying
with like warm
Yep.
meat in them.
it. It was good.
What did you find today? You were kind of with me for a while, and then I saw you kind of bounce over to Cholula and then Sylas, and then me again, and then Cholula. Did you find
I
anything?
climbed some shelves at one point, got all the way to the top, and then I was requested to get down.
Did you get down?
Eventually.
Did you find anything?
There was a cool bug. This is very boring here. I don't like it.
Reading isn't boring. It's fundamental. It
You could have
grows
found.
the brain.
You could have found books or help.
About
or
what?
You could have helped someone, asked them what they were doing.
Weren't
You just
you-
hovered around me all
Weren't
day.
you looking for like the silver stake?
I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of books about them. So much.
I didn't find anything.
We'd probably find more by looking for them, or being out and doing the thing, maybe, or
I found very useful information about something I've never fought
Yes.
before. Something you've probably never fought before.
but can you use it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well,
I-
Knowing that it can change its form help you fight it.
I can ask others that can change their form. What hinders them? I could find out how to go through the plane and how a fork can get you to do that. There's something there about it too.
In how many days do we have?
We have 19.
And you're gonna figure out how to do all of those things.
We are at a college.
19
I imagine,
days.
climbing shelves wasn't as helpful as this has been.
Are you
Do
sure?
you think climbing shelves out? Like you think maybe there'll be a shelf on the battlefield and you'll be able to.
There
climb
might be
it
trees.
better. I mean, right?
Or a big rock.
You could have done at least, some resistance training of some sort.
You
but
could have asked. You could have asked for
I
help.
could have asked. I was doing
You could have
research.
asked for help.
I had to.
Technically, yeah, you could. I don't think
I could have asked for help.
I've
When
never
when I
heard you
set out-
ask for help.
I've never hovered around someone while they were trying to
I
do
was
something
bored.
all day. You were bored. I was doing something. Why would I ask for help? I
Because
was
you could have
doing what
asked
I
for help
wanted
to
to
find
do.
more stuff. And then I would have helped,
I
maybe.
can't. I
But
can't.
instead,
I can't.
you just got grumpy with me.
Yes, because I was doing something. You were doing the opposite of help. Why would I ask for help for someone doing the opposite of help? Am I insane?
Well, I mean,
You seem mad.
I'm mad, but I'm not insane.
No.
You seem pretty mad at me right now.
you seem a
I
little
didn't
bit-
do anything wrong.
Didn't do anything wrong. Did the opposite of right, but you didn't do anything wrong.
Nobody asked.
Technically, the opposite of right is wrong. So if
That was the bit.
Okay.
I'm going to continue reading this garbage youth novel.
I'm going to sleep.
as you find your rest and awaken the next morning feeling rested.
No, sorry. I only sleep for 4 hours. Can I just keep watch on the door to make sure nobody
Yeah.
barges in and yells at us?
Make a perception check.
17?
17. Throughout, you're not sure what happens throughout the 4 hours of your meditation, but throughout the 4 hours of everyone else being asleep, another person even comes near the vicinity of this room.
Why would they?
No conference is scheduled this evening.
The chairs are carpeted. Sucks.
So you all awaken the next morning with 18 days to go to the showdown. And first up, you have a meeting with Calandria.
Yeah.
So, exiting the Biblioplex, are all of you going to this meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Exiting the big Biblioplex back into this large kind of like hedge maze surrounded courtyard. Worth noting the hedge mazes aren't like huge. They're like waist height. It's more of a decorative thing than a challenge.
They changed it.
You enter the courtyard, and they're seated at this kind of like circular ridge that surrounds the fountain of this large statue, which you now see to be a statue of Valdwin, the elven vampire that you met.
I exhale for 14 whole seconds.
The day before. You see a human woman with blonde hair, kind of pulled back into a ponytail, with like the top portion, but the back flows freely, as it does it at the sideburns as well, kind of like hanging down in front. She's wearing white robes with blue trim, and is surrounded by fluttering, chirping birds. You see there's this black and white tuxedo cat that is on her shoulders, and a snake coiled around one of her arms. She's just kind of like sitting there and stroking the animals, and like a bird lands on her finger and chirps, and she sends it away. She turns. Good morning. I am Calandria, Dean of the Root. I take it you are the Mistwalkers.
We are.
Hi.
Yes.
It's a
Nice
pleasure
to
to
meet
meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Dean Valdwin informed me that you had some questions, some things that you wanted to know about.
Yes.
I haven't got a lot of time. I've got to get back to my research with Mr. Sampson, which I'm sure you are
Yes,
aware,
that's
I'm
what I
told.
was going to ask about first.
Of course. We are making as much headway as we can. His condition is unlike anything I've ever seen before. His entire physiology is in an altered state. He's not responsive. We've tried different memory stimulants provided by young Mr. Cressel Flintwick, who I am told you are aware of. He's the one who told me about all of you. We've tried stimulating old memories that the two of them have together. We've tried restorations. We've tried a number of different types of spells, but nothing seems to stick. Certain things will have an effect that will then wane over time, and he finds himself back in this sort of blank, empty, yet violent position. Unfortunately, we've had to we've had to keep him sedated for most of his stay, for the safety of ourselves and others, but we do remove the sedation whenever we are not actively treating, and those are the periods where we simply observe. And mostly it's just a lot of wandering, standing, some howls from time to time. Truly, truly dreadful. whatever it is that's taken place. But we are doing our best to reverse what it is that happened to him. I am personally still mulling over some things and working, even as we speak, in the back of my mind to think of what herbs, roots, and concoctions could bolster magics in order to turn his situation around. I'm afraid I don't have much more than that at the moment. It's only been a number of days.
Have you maybe tried? I mean, to reverse effects of that, have you looked at what caused what happened?
Yes, we do have a team of very practiced arcanists that are going over the tome that was recovered and attempting to decipher it, decode it, but it is heavily encrypted, as any wizard spellbook typically is, so as not to be just taken and read by anyone passing by. But
were you able to sample any of the kind of violet goo that they had put on those pedestals?
Yes, I'm not sure about the pedestals, but there were several jars of basilisk blood that were removed from the scene. I would imagine, I have inferred that, based on the story that Mr. Flintwick told us, it seems that when they were storing prisoners, or specimens as they're referred to in the text, they would use live basilisks to petrify them, turn them to stone, and when they were ready to conduct their experiments, they would use the reversal for basilisk petrification, which is basilisk blood, to thaw them, as it were.
Everything I've come across as far as who spurred on the silver stake. I don't know if you've heard that theory.
I've not.
Seems there's a bit of plane shifting. I'm not sure if that factors into what has happened to.
I don't follow
I've been researching night hags as something that could be the cause of the silver stake's recent.
From the conversation we had with the deceased Silver Stake member, it seems as though a Night Hag is given orders to the stake.
And with the Night Hag itself, who bragged about it.
That would be incredibly problematic if one who could enter dreams such as a Night Hag does, and particularly if they targeted those who were emotionally
Stunted?
not stunted, but fractured, and took advantage of that by perhaps pretending to be Celestian. There are many beings, or rather, there are many humanoids like ourselves who practice more holistic ways of life and put a lot of meaning and stock into what their dreams entail. There are even those who have, it hasn't been perfectly proven, but hasn't been disproven, that there are some who have been spoken to by gods and celestial beings within their dreams, if something had the ability to do that and used it for malice. I wouldn't be surprised if a cult sprung up around it.
You don't need to be surprised. It has happened.
This is troublesome.
That's part of the reason why we're here. Unless, Cholula, you wanted to get through what you would like to talk about.
Well, I think that'll be with Tippend, is the one who reported. My mother was a professor at the school, and her and my whole family went missing. I've been trying to gather information, but I believe Professor Tippend reported them missing, so I was hoping to meet with.
I'm sorry, I was given your descriptions, but I was not informed of who precisely each of you were. You're
Cholula Duvet.
Cholula Duvet. My condolences on the disappearance of your family. I was not aware that there were any members of the Duvet family that had resurfaced.
Yes, and I had been led to believe my entire life that there was a massacre of a sort, and found that they had went missing, so I'm curious if there's others like me that just ended up somewhere else. And
It is entirely possible. I personally haven't encountered anyone myself. There was quite an investigation at the time of the disappearances. There were a number of detectives from the Lumen Inquirers that were looking into the case. They interviewed almost everyone on the faculty, I would say, and a number of students as well. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad to know that at least one of you is all right.
yes, I'd like to learn more about that investigation, but we don't have to bother you with that. I'll talk to
of course,
someone
of
close
course.
to the situation.
It's important to hold on to that hope, though. Never give up on those that could be waiting for you.
Yes, I suppose.
I'm sorry, I've been sort of mulling over what we've talked about. If a hag is responsible for the Silver Stake, and therefore responsible for the Silver Stake's experiments, the magic might be different than what we know and anticipate. Not a lot has known or has been researched about the magic used by hags. It's a sort of mixture of druidic magics and arcane magics, with a bit of fiendish magic mixed in. But about how it actually works and functions, not a lot is known. Perhaps looking into this could help us with the situation with Mr. Sampson.
I was hoping so. It's also going to see if maybe we could get a bit of help in 18 days.
What's happening in 18 days?
I was told.
This one picked a fight with a Night Hag, and I think she's gonna be in our plane in 18 days.
I kind of made a deal to meet in person and
You
settle
made a
the
deal
score.
with the hag.
To settle the score.
The hag's been visited him in his dreams and was deteriorating his health, and he had made a deal at some point before and had lost all his memories, but when he started to get some of them back, she was angry, and so
logically, and as it is the term of making deals, in a sense, though it was obviously heavily weighted against you,
Right.
the way that the hag saw the deal, it was as if you had reneged on it. Tricky fey beings.
I made a deal this time to see what information I could get. I've been abstaining and it's been killing me. So this time I kind of played the game a bit
Right.
in order to get it to come out of hiding, which I'm sure that won't be the case, as we've learned before.
Do you remember the exact wording of this deal that you made?
Oh, that's... I said I didn't want to do this anymore, and that if we were going to fight, it needed to be on my turf this time. In the material plane. They gave me a space, a place, and a time. I said it was the only thing I wanted, was for them to die and that I wanted to do it.
Right.
And I said, I'll be here.
Have you ever heard of a dream journal?
Yes, I think.
It is the act of, upon waking in the morning, your first act of the day is to record in a notebook or ledger of sorts what it is that you dreamt about the night before. I find it could be helpful perhaps in your situation, especially if there are visitations that are happening in your sleep, to recall as perfectly as you can. When it comes to Fey magic in particular, things get very, very specific. My advice would be, if you find yourself speaking with a Fey being that holds the sort of magical abilities that, say, a Night Hag would, be very careful about how you choose your words. Try not to speak in metaphors or even similes if you can. Be as plain as day. Not like I just was with that metaphor.
I said I wanted her dead and I wanted her on the material plane, and she told me where she would be.
Did you tell her that, or did you tell her on your home turf? With me, you used the words turf.
I shortened it just now, but I don't think I said to her, on my home turf. I think I said on an equal plane here, like where I'm not in the dream world, we're here.
Right. Well, if it was worded specifically in that manner, then you should be.
I don't remember exactly. The only way you can get things across to her is if you're angry. She doesn't seem to respond well unless you kind of show a bit of emotion that she wants. So right. I was a little livid, just playing the part. Also, it's not for here.
This may come as a surprise, but even in my station in the place that we are, that we find ourselves, I have not had many interactions with Fey beings myself. That is, I've interacted with many who are Fey-touched, as it were, Eladrin elves or elves in general.
Do you
fawns.
have any here?
Oh yes, a number of students are of Fey descent, or rather, Fey-touched. But specifically beings that resided within the Feywild, its own separate plane. I don't have much experience, but I do know that they are governed by seemingly nonsensical to us, but very specific laws. And when it comes to making deals, every word counts. And they are beholden to those words.
Well, then I've fucked that up, I'm sure. I didn't exactly rehearse it.
I'm sure it's no fault of your own. This is not common knowledge that all of us on the material plane know.
Well, it's costed multiple people's lives, these words, it seems.
Out of curiosity, did I grow up in the Feywild or just within the vicinity of...
You grew up in the red...
Full-on material plane.
Yeah, in the Red Pines to the kind of, I think, southwest of Narumloth in the north.
Just making sure. Checking in.
For sure. I'm sorry, I really should be getting back to my appointment with Mr. Sampson, and then I've got a number of classes I've got to be teaching, but is there anything else that I can help any of you with?
Well, if you need any more research on the Fae, there may or may not be one on the island of some famous lake around here.
The Isle of Rovenghoul in Lake Mindaneth.
Yeah.
Were you given a specific location on the island? It's quite vast.
No, but I can't imagine we'll miss each other.
One more question before you go.
Yes.
Do you have anyone here that was Fey-touched that remembers what happened on the other side? I've ran across these, I think they were goblins and a whale, and they told me it was weird that I remember. And that they haven't come across anyone.
I should specify, when I say Fey touched, I mean peoples who have Fey ancestry, not those who were physically manipulated by the Fey. I don't have any experience with that either, I'm afraid.
They kind of borrowed me for a second when I was little and then brought me back. Well, me and my brother, I think we're the only ones who I've run across that remember being taken. I just wanted to see if anyone else actually remembered.
Not in my
see
experience.
if their stories were similar.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of such a situation. She's gonna roll an insight check to see if you're fucking with her. If you would like to make a persuasion check.
I'll do it. No, you've been rolling nice tonight. Don't fuck this up. Fuck you, my dude. It's a 4 for persuasion.
If I hear of anything of the sort, I will be sure to get in contact with you. Now that we have all met and spoken, I do have access to certain types of spells that would allow me to send a message to you, should I wish. If you receive this message, we will be able to have a brief conversation. Very short, though, so try to keep the words simple if it does come to that. But I will be sure to get in contact with you if anything like this crosses my path.
Does it seem like she doesn't believe me? Can I read that on her face or all?
You can make an insight check.
23.
23. She rolled an 8.
Fuck yeah.
She seems like she thinks you're fucking with her, but she's trying to be nice about it. She's not just like gonna blow you off. That doesn't seem like the type of person that she is.
She's a nice lady.
Also,
But she's just low-key like, why are you lying?
on a 23, I'm gonna come around and tell you a secret.
Oh my god, a secret!
What's whispering about?
Secret.
Hey, listen, this isn't to like question your methods, but why not just text me?
Because it's longer than.
Oh, that's fair. No,
Have us all sit in silence.
That's fair.
How's it going, you guys? Don't forget that we have another D&D show on Mondays. It's called Overdark. It's a
Yeah.
mini arc. There will be less episodes of them. Those are Mondays at 7.
They're like an hour and a half a piece. It's a lot easier to digest.
Yeah.
Per episode.
They hit YouTube in condensed versions, but on Twitch you get to see all of the time that we spend
All of it.
playing the game and dicking around.
Okay.
Dicking around.
Perfect.
That successfully covered up the whispers for me.
Right. I'm gonna shoot a glance at Cholula and point as she walks away. Go with her.
Yeah, she turns and it was a pleasure to meet all of you. Again, I will let you know if there are any updates on Roscoe Sampson's situation, and I wish you the best of luck with your research at the library. And she turns around, takes a couple of steps, and then, evaporates.
Is it an elf, right?
Why?
Human.
A human?
She's a human woman.
Good. I was gonna have so much more resentment than I do on that.
She didn't really believe me, but something about you made her nervous. She kept sort of looking at you and seemed kind of sweaty, and I don't know, I just thought you could put the shaker on her.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. You look a little bit more intimidating than me. The knives really sort of only cover up how nerdy I am. I think it sort of balances it out. I don't think they really look that intimidating. I think you should catch up with her. I think she knows more than she let on about your parents.
I don't know where she went.
She said she had class, and we have another 24 hours in the library. I imagine we could find someone who knows her class schedule. I mean, it's just a college. That stuff's public knowledge.
Well, I do still need to speak with Tip, and maybe he could confirm anything suspicious about her.
I think it's definitely worth the look.
I didn't even notice that.
Useless and kind of shisty. That's nice.
But I think I have worse news.
What's
Oh.
that?
I think I need to go home.
Sorry?
Like right now?
To where?
Not right this second, but isn't it weird that I'm the only one who remembers being taken and brought back?
I mean, if you're taken by fairies, kind of just sounds like a standard practice on their part to do something weird to you on your way out.
But if you're the only one...
Who remembers? I just want to see if my brother remembers anything. He was the only other person that I remember being taken, and he's the person who brought me. So, I think that's important. And we should probably tell my parents that the Silver Stake is a cult.
Yeah, about that lamb. Isn't your home like Silver Stake, USA? That's not a place. Silver Stake, USA.
Silver Stake in the village of USA.
Well, they don't know what you guys look like, and I still have the hat of disguise that Alma left for me. I can make myself look different. And
Where does he live?
Well,
I mean, is it sort of in or around
we're not.
where
If you're searching through your notes,
I was gonna go look up the map because I don't remember the actual name. I just remember it started with the A because I like alliteration.
yeah, you're from a small village that is just north of Altanen. Altanen
United States of Altanen.
is
I
Altanen.
made a mistake.
Altanen is the city.
Culty.
I think you guys have.
I'm not even jealous.
I don't remember if you guys have looked into Altanen at all. Actually, I don't think you have.
We've heard it before.
But Aurora, you know that it is on the southwestern portion of Missinor. I say as I look at my own map to make sure I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Oh, that's what I was doing.
We've got to here.
Altanen's not too far from
Yeah.
Ravengul, and
Altanen is literally on the opposite side of Lake Mendeleth from Kalima. It is on the coast, the Obsidian Coast.
Fucking useless leads leading to more useless leads.
well, listen. If anything, we take down a whole city of Silver Stake. If things get bad, this
Take
one.
down. It took 2 of them to kill.
Yes. But I think that we could at least sneak into my house and have a conversation. We may not have to fight, and we may not have to lose anyone. Especially... Listen, I get it. Do you think that this isn't hard for me either?
You get it, right? You get it.
She was the only person I felt comfortable with. Do you think I feel comfortable right now? I don't know any of you.
It's not a pissing contest.
Oh, don't talk to me about pissing contests. You've had so many.
I know, right? It's not who
Listen,
misses her the most, it's why it happened.
If you want to just be drunk all the time and just be angry all the time,
Am I
that's
drunk
fine.
right now? No. It's probably the worst part of my day. But I'm not, because I have something to do.
Then what's holding you back? Do it. If you're here for my sake, you don't need me. Go do it.
I was thinking about it.
Go do it.
Go do what?
Exactly.
We have 18 days.
Yeah, I can't do it right now.
And there's no reason that we can't go there first and see if maybe we can at least try to have her family spread the word around to everyone else that what they're following is bullshit, and maybe they won't have as strong a numbers.
You've already assumed that this is going to turn out to be a bullshit lead before we've even looked in it. We haven't even been to the city. What if it's not the same as I remember? What if things have changed? I know I said I didn't want to go, but... Shit, what else are we going to do? The school didn't pan out. going to go find a frog. He didn't plan it out.
It wasn't really a big thing. It was just a side.
Fighting
Nice.
the Silver Stake to see where they were taking people didn't really pan out.
And our record has been stated, right?
I'm
what we do
saying-
doesn't pan out.
If you're giving up now, then what's the point of us keeping going?
Not giving up. I'm just trying to be reasonable about our next moves. Like, can we hear a couple sentences and we go to another city? Like, I'm sorry, I haven't finished my research. I haven't.
We're not
This
planning on leaving right now.
I didn't say
They
this.
said it wasn't right now, but also give him a little bit of a break.
I'm going to find a drink, and it will be one. It will be in moderation. This is just kind of. I haven't really eaten anything outside of what you called wraps, so I'm just going to go find a small, quiet place to be for a bit to just cool it. Thank you for this conversation. My apologies for being terse. I am trying to do better, and when I return, I will be more level-headed. I'm sorry. And he will find where people are being loud, I guess.
Yeah, make an investigation check. Also worth noting, as Sylas kind of like walks away, you all taking the moment for a second before realizing that there's like 6 students who are like sitting in various places. Like some of them are like on the fountain, like studying. A couple of them are on a bench nearby, and they're all just kind of like into their books.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates. Investigation?
That was 12.
12? Okay. We'll get to that in a moment. What are the rest of you doing? You find yourself standing in this...
I'm gonna follow Sylas.
All right. Rabbit? Probably... Do you give it a second or immediately?
I'll take a distance.
Okay.
I'll stealth it.
Give it a couple beats and then set in.
I'm just kind of do it like...
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check. Aurora and Cholula, you find yourselves standing before the
I would like to use my luck
the
point.
stone. Your luck point. You find yourself standing in
We
front
also have a D6 inspiration.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
here.
that couldn't
You have a
helped
D6.
me
Everybody
in
else has a
this.
D4.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wait, right?
Actually, I
No.
think it's just you.
No,
No,
that's
you said everybody.
everyone-
Mondays.
Oh, that's the other.
Yeah, that's the other
no.
campaign. Yeah, that was a Scarlet thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When
If you want to know what we're talking about, check out Overdark on Mondays right here.
Yeah, that'll be, what is that, episode 3
On YouTube. Yeah.
on YouTube. And session 2. I
Episode
made a
2
great,
comes out on Wednesday.
I made a great joke. We got a searching for it.
26 on stealth.
26.
The first
Wonderful.
roll was a 1, and we couldn't let that happen.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you would have just fallen on me.
So,
Yeah, I would just like kick you from the sky, like, oh shit, sorry.
So, Rabbit keeping pace behind Sylas.
Sometimes I duck behind a student. Sometimes I'm like on a roof.
Yeah, you're following as he's wandering the streets of this strange city within the pocket dimension where a number of students are practicing magic in various different places. There are various businesses and things. The two of you are off to find a bar. Meanwhile, Aurora and Cholula, you find yourselves still standing in the courtyard of the Biblioplex.
Well, if you don't have any plans, I'm probably gonna head back to the library unless you want company.
I still need to find Tippin and talk to him about my family. You're welcome to join me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Aurora sort of like tuck behind you, like on your heels.
Holding your pace.
All right. So, Cholula and Aurora set off to find Professor Tippin. If I could have one of you, or either one of you with advantage, or the both of you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay.
Make
Table shook.
make just a straight charisma check to like flag someone down who can point you in the right direction.
That's fair.
Okay.
Each separate, or you with advantage, Cholula? These are your parents, you call it.
Let's do, I'll do with advantage. Let's use Cholula's dice.
Ayo.
Provided by Frozen Forge.
That first one sounded promising.
The first one was a 2. Charisma straight up.
Yeah.
19.
Nice. And your investigation check was a 12. Perfect. So we will start there. After about maybe a half hour of walking, Sylas, you come across, or rather you hear in the distance, music playing from a nearby building and the chatter of conversation. Approaching, you see what appears to be a pub of some sort that is named the Boiler Room. The doors open to a staircase that leads down maybe 20 or 30 feet into this kind of like basement area. And as you're stepping in, there's a gnome sitting next to this kind of like archway. He's got like a little podium. Hello there.
Hi.
Welcome to the Boiler Room. Have you got ID on you?
Identification. No, I don't. I didn't know that was required. Listen, I just need a drink right now.
Make a persuasion check. Persuade a door guy to let you in without an ID.
That's a 2 plus 0.
He's like graying.
Excuse me, Salt and Pepper Man. I can't verify your age.
Listen, I'm not supposed to do this, but
I'm not supposed to do what?
let people in who don't have their identification on them.
What kind of identification should I have?
It's a liability. It's your Kalima ID.
So you remember everyone's name that comes in?
No.
So if something
no,
goes
they
wrong,
present me their identification, and it has how old they are, and I know if they're allowed to come in or not.
How old do you think I am?
Did you not hear me say that I'm not supposed to do this? I'm gonna let you in.
I know, I just don't know what the confusion was.
Then why the fuck are you hassling? Go get a fucking drink, shit.
I'm not trying to hassle you. I don't understand your position. I've been to many pubs. I've never seen one that had a gate.
I work the door. This is a university. There's a lot of underage students here who aren't old enough to drink alcohol.
Age limit to drink.
Yeah, we sell cactus juice here.
Oh, fuck, right. Sorry. No, I didn't know.
Yeah, whatever. You look old. Go inside.
Thank you. I deserve it. I think I'm 200.
As you're having this conversation, Rabbit,
Yeah.
you are overhearing this conversation.
Uh-huh.
You know full well you do not have identification of any sort.
No fucking ID.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll walk in.
Are you just walking in?
I'll try.
So you're not trying... I was going to say your stealth can carry over if you'd like, but if you're just trying to walk in, you can also just walk in.
You gotta own it. That's the biggest thing about having a fake ID.
I think-
You just gotta own it.
Would it be...
Can you see the bar from the door and wave at the bartender?
Also, just so we're all on the same page, that was a natural 1 from
shit.
him.
Really? You
Yeah.
raised your eyebrows in an impressive way. That was wild.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you rolled a 2 and he
I
let
did,
you
yeah.
in.
That was
Yeah, I
wild.
think I'll
He's a
try.
bad door guy.
I'll try stealth it.
Okay.
If I can, I would like to make it so that I am at the bar before Sylas is at the bar.
Yeah. Using your stealth roll from before that you've been using to tail Sylas, you get to the top of this staircase and you see him having this altercation with a young gnome. You hear the mention of identification, instantly know that you don't have that, and you seize the opportunity to sneak past them as they are conversing. Sylas, you enter the bar. It's kind of a strange setup. To your left, there are a number of dartboards and card tables set up where people are playing various games with one another and drinking and making merriment. Stepping through, you have to kind of like curve to the left through this archway, and there's a number of booths on your side. Stepping through, there's a stage.
Like kind of gate between.
Yeah, there's
myself
like
and
this
the-
weird kind of like rebar that's like twisted and almost sculptural,
Yeah.
and it's like weird twisted rebar that almost kind of like sways magically,
Okay.
like grass in a breeze.
I think so.
Stepping by those booths, you come to an area, larger, more open area. The bar is kind of on the right side. There's a stage on the far wall where a group of young-looking bards are playing tavern music, which
How young looking?
make a perception check.
Right. So like, I get hassled. I have a scar on my face longer than that dude's tooth. Perception is 14.
14. So it's hard to tell. A number of them are elves, but you do see the lute player is definitely a young human and has X's drawn on the backs of his hands. And you get the sense that he's here as a performer only and is not allowed to imbibe himself.
Very good. It's not even magical. It's just ash.
Also, with that perception check, you turn and sitting at the bar. What does he see?
Yeah, can I have already ordered 2 shots and 2 beers?
Absolutely. Go ahead and mark off 3 gold.
Yeah, gutter pops.
Do they look
Yeah, I'll
windy?
throw a platinum down.
Well, thank you very kindly.
And you see the bartender is a faun who's got this kind of like flat nose, a man, the kind of like goat-like ears, just slight horns, wearing a white shirt it is buttoned up, but it's not like fancy. Rip it and fucking rip it,
Dude,
bro.
jeez. I would buy a new microphone.
Brown hair, kind of messy, curly, similar to Sylas's facial hair. He's got kind of like chops, but much weaker. And yeah, has like this white button-up shirt and goat legs as a fawn.
Common.
Oh, thank you very kindly. I always appreciate a tip.
He places it. He like jokingly places it in his pocket and then like makes change.
And then I pick up my shot and I've turned around waiting for Sylas holding out his.
Do they look tired? Do they look winded?
Rabbit, make an insight check.
Do I?
We'll see.
Oh, that's so cocked, but I really want this roll.
Nice job.
Alright. Oi, 10 flat.
10? No.
Okay. Hi.
Hi there.
I think I mentioned alone. I'll take the drink.
And I slide the beer over to next to me.
Have you ever? And then I'll drop the shot into the drink.
I will follow the example set for me by my elders.
The bartender's eyes widen and he takes out a little notepad and a quill.
We're gonna need another one of those probably.
Coming right up.
And I just go ahead and put down a platinum prematurely.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out who this is. Because I know this place.
It's
I know
not
the
always
bar.
a real
I
person.
know
I
the
still
bar.
haven't even figured out the bar.
Yeah.
It's your favorite
It's just
one.
an
I didn't even change the name.
Yeah. No, you didn't. Well, from its original name,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
For our Denton crowd.
Yeah, that's an old place. It's not
Hey, McCall.
Oh, I guess I don't know it.
And Eric is probably here.
Like
Yeah.
an underground place, but it used to be boiler room.
It's an arcade now.
It was-
I'm too baby to know.
Too babe.
Oh, it is
Full
an
baby.
arcade. We should go.
We should. A lot of things to touch in there.
So anyway, please carry on.
You know, I did mention loan, but you don't seem to care.
You did mention that. But then I thought to myself, I like drinks. You like drinks. And also that if you're alone, anything could happen, really, to any of us at any time.
Yeah, I could be prevented from drinking based on my age, apparently.
Didn't have the same problem.
I don't know if I'll be doing much talking, but
That's
unless
fine.
you can convince me otherwise.
We could just sit here. That's not a problem.
Yeah. I don't It's since we've gotten here, I don't know what we're doing. You know, we keep getting sidetracked, I think. And then we met you, and that was about the point when I was tired of being sidetracked. My daughter told me what to do after she died, and I don't think I can do anything else. I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Do you think she'd be angry with you for not pursuing it immediately?
She was always angry with me.
Can't imagine. Is it because you feel guilty?
No. Actually. And then I'm going to drink the rest of whatever is in front of me.
Yeah.
Not for the death, I don't think. I think I felt guilty for not being there. Then when I was there, we were trying to stay alive. And then when I just thought I was being there, she died. The closer you get, the further you are, right?
So I don't know a lot about all of that, to be fair.
Ask away.
But I think that perhaps getting frustrated with your friends who are really just trying to help in the only way that they know how is maybe the opposite
Right,
of
yes.
productive.
But are they trying to help? It's nothing. It's no fault of their own. I am not angry with them. I just think sometimes something comes up that is the opposite of our plans. That is the opposite of what we are set out to do.
And fairness. And I hold my hand up to order another round of drinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead and mark off another 3 gold or platinum if that's what you're using.
Another platinum.
Yeah,
I don't have any gold.
The bartender is preparing for retirement.
yeah.
In fairness,
This guy? Okay.
your friends didn't sign up to go fight a Night Hag with ya. They're still gonna do it.
We didn't sign up to find a Roscoe, and we went and did that. And guess how that turned out?
It's not their fault.
None of it is their fault. That's the thing. It's no one's fault for anything. It's all wild. That's something I've definitely learned from being here. The thing that I don't want to continue doing is taking I'm going to call them side missions, and dying during those. I'd rather die looking at my goal in the face than dying scampering off to find someone we just barely met, which, like, I
So, when it's your goal, it's the main goal, but when it's other people's goals, that's a side mission. I hand him his drink.
Yes.
I wanna make this about our zodiac so bad. So bad.
But is that not the case for everyone? When you walk up to someone and say, "Can you help me with this?" Are you not saying, "Help me with my main mission"? Because then everyone else's goals are side missions. It's your selflessness that says, "Yes, I will do that." But that you can't look at me and say, "Oh, it's your main mission." Everyone is on a main mission.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
What are you doing here?
Investigating.
For?
Whatever the hell is wrong with you.
I meant here, with us. Why did you choose to
With
come
you all
along?
in general. You were interested in the silver stake, and I've been interested in the silver stake.
Your interest in the silver stake drove you to work with us. Mm-hmm. Yes? Which
the dead
means
body
your
said that-
self-interest wanted... You drove yourself into working with us out of your own self-interest, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just
No,
saying
that's fine.
I think we've done a bit too much selflessness, and in doing so have lost a lot of self in that pursuit.
So, our little lamb trying to talk to her family and get them out of a cult is her being selfless for somebody else?
I offered that first, and she turned me down. And now she found out some new information and wants to do it now. Which is fine. I find it a bit frustrating sometimes, and which is why I stepped away. I'm not mad. I was going to drink alone and be quiet about it.
Okay.
And then just eat it and then show up again.
You started talking first, though.
I did, because you're here, and I feel like it would be rude if you followed me here, however you got in here first. You look like a child. He bothered me. I know you heard. A child. He stopped me because I didn't have identification based on age, and it was shocking to see you.
I'm 150 years old.
I gathered that, probably. Yes. You elves.
I think he'd be hard pressed.
I sure as hell didn't.
How old do you think I am? Because I don't know. Because when my daughter first saw me, she said I looked no different than when I left, which... Still, I don't want to think about it too much, but it's still odd.
Right.
I'm a human, by the way.
I've met humans.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And you all age in a manner. I can do this. You are... Well,
12.
it happens very fast, I know.
Don't tell the doorman.
To them.
Spot on.
Okay.
Nailed it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Nailed it. Wow. 12.
Yeah, I might as well be a human expert. I think.
You are right. All of that to say, I'm not willing to help. Sometimes I think we lose sight of what we're doing. Really.
Fair. However, I'm just gonna say it. Either way, all of the goals will get accomplished. Especially the whole fighting a fairy thing, because I'd have to. You don't really have much of a choice there. Or something worse is gonna happen, I imagine. So...
One of us is going to die that day. And I don't care who. Do not tell Cholula that.
Well, listen.
I think he means like either he or the hag.
Yeah.
Not like one of you is gonna die.
No, I know. Like, I'm not here.
I don't care which one of you, but if you tell Cholula, she's gonna be
I don't care
mad at
who
me.
dies, but somebody's gonna die in this fight.
Here's the thing.
Pray it's Miranda.
I'll keep your secret as best I can. But if Kitten asks me directly, I'm sorry I can't lie to her.
Doubt she'll ask. Hey, did Sylas say he was willing to die the other day? I don't want it to happen, I don't think. I think I'll leave it there.
And as a silence, or a quiet silence, falls over your conversation, the music continues in the background. The two of you sit and
Continue drinking.
Finish your drinks quietly. Probably have another round or two.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and mark off like 2 or 3 more platinum.
Perfect. It's the most expensive night of drinking ever. Mm-hmm. And that bartender's last day. Who knew?
That's good because they were horrible at their job. I did not like my experience, and I didn't even order the drink.
Oh, it's gonna be me.
I can do a cartwheel. You want to see?
As our vision pulls out from the bar, back past the booths and around the corner, passing by the darts and the card tables, and the doorman who's fallen asleep at his post, and just up,
There's a lot of teens drinking now.
up the stairs and out of the boiler room. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break.
Oh.
We'll be back in 20 minutes, but before we go, we have a giveaway to tell you how to enter.
Oh my god!
Got something in it.
Banana for scale.
To enter, for your chance to win the mystery mini giveaway from More Fun Comics and Games. Another huge shout out to our sponsor, More Fun Comics and Games, our local gaming store. Hit them up on social media. Tell them that we are how you know about them, because that would be cool. To enter for your chance to win this box of mystery minis, enter the word mystery in the chat.
Oh shit!
That's
easy.
That's MYSTERY, mystery. It is also written there for you by Moobot so that you can see what it is that you need to type.
So that you can spell mystery.
To enter for your chance to win. And I pose a challenge to the winner to come up with some sort of encounter with using all of the minis within the box once you receive it. And if you're not already in the Discord, which you probably should be, you can get there through our About section. Let us know what it is. That is my challenge to you. But we will announce the winner when we return. We'll be back in 20 minutes. And welcome back, everyone. Before we hop back into the session, we've got a giveaway to announce. Also, worth stating, because we did have a minor incident that I am just remembering, and I feel bad about it. To be eligible to win the giveaway, you got to be a follower of the channel here on Twitch. That's free, easy to do. Just click the heart. And if you've done it, you're done. You're good. You're eligible. Unless you live in Quebec, because Quebec has stringent laws on giveaways, and it is technically illegal for you to win. So that blows. I agree. There's nothing we can do about it.
Sorry, y'all can't gamble.
Yeah, maybe rise up. See what happens. I'm just kidding.
Overthrow your leaders!
I think you can gamble. It just has to be French gambling.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Gambling, but you have
It was already bad enough what I said.
Wait.
All right. The winner of the More Fun Mystery Minis giveaway is
We don't need...
Weefer! Congratulations, Weefer, on your win. We've got your info. We will get those minis to you as soon as possible, probably.
You did it.
it's a big old box.
It is quite a large box. It is sizable.
What's the
I don't know
size
if
of
you know
your
this,
head?
but I am a giant. And this is large.
Half giant.
Half giant. All right.
Very smart.
And also, before we hop back into the game, we have one more giveaway this evening.
One more?
The Fantasy Forge, I say as I type, aged bronze dice.
Whee!
Don't make us bad.
They are not bronze. They are not aged.
Yeah.
But
I'm a
that's what they look
horse.
like.
They're pretty aged, but they are resin
That's
dice.
scary.
They are
Anything
not.
is aged.
They're not a metal
changed my
set.
shirt because it had a horse. The shirt I was wearing earlier had a horse on it, and I changed.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't
We didn't want to
considerate.
scare
be
Miranda.
upset.
I would listen.
It
I
was
read
an
the-
astronaut riding a horse. It was a pretty cool shirt.
Your two favorite things: space.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Cool.
Price- I hate space.
To enter for your chance to win the aged bronze dice set from Fantasy Forge, handmade by myself, type the word bronze in the chat. That's BRONZE. Bronze. To enter for your chance to win, and we will announce the winner at the end of the stream. But for now, we've got a game to play.
Whoa.
Everybody roll initiative. I don't remember what happened before the break.
We were fighting.
You were drinking.
Right. Oh. It was a 2 for initiative.
I'm too far away from the table.
Somebody at home is really confused right now. They're like, wait, who are they fighting?
I better go back and watch everything on YouTube.
Yeah. Might as well subscribe while I'm there.
Might as
Oh
well.
my god. Please.
Yeah, do me a favor. If you're watching and you're a follower here on Twitch, and even if you're a subscriber here on Twitch, go to Twitter. Make a Twitter account if you don't have one. And follow at Arcanarama Show. It's sad over there. Not because there's not great content, but because no one's interacting with it. And it makes me sad.
And it's
Anyway,
your fault.
it's not your fault, but you could be the solution.
We're so close.
So, after a number of hours, Aurora and Cholula, you're kind of wandering about.
Sorry. But you were holding on to it so it wouldn't tear again.
I just asked for a tissue.
How mean do you think I am?
Had a whole
I was
inspector
here to
freeze
help.
up.
Cholula and Aurora,
Yes.
the two of you are searching through this vast pocket dimension, trying to find your way to Professor Tippend Virgalor's office or classroom. And eventually, after about 30 minutes of looking, you stop and ask someone, and they inform you that the application of magic in the culinary arts class does not use the casting of spells, and as such, is not within the pocket dimension. It is just in Widderson's Hall.
Oh.
So you are directed back towards the gateway, which is open, thankfully for you, and you exit and find yourselves once again in Widderson's Hall. Following the directions that you are given, you come down a long, kind of like nice wooden corridor, a nice dark wood, and you come to the classroom that you were directed towards. Stepping through the doorway, you enter a classroom where, in lieu of desks, there are a number of cooking stations, complete with ovens, stoves, sinks, and a number of various types of cutlery and cooking utensils. Sitting at the head of the classroom, it is empty, I should say. There's not currently a class happening. Sitting at the head of the classroom, just biting into a sandwich, is a middle-aged gnome with messy brown hair, who's wearing a button-up white shirt with a yellow bow tie and a green sweater vest over brown trousers. He kind of looks up with a mouthful. Oh, hello. He wipes a bit of mustard from his mouth. Forgive me, you've caught me in the middle of a meal.
Oh, you can keep eating.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't mind if I do. But first, Professor Tippend Virgalor, at your service. Can I help you with something?
Yes, I'm Cholula Duvet. I came to ask some questions. I found an article that stated that you reported my family missing.
Heavens. He reaches for a glass of water nearby to kind of like wash down the sandwich he was eating.
What kind of sandwich is it?
Make an investigation check.
No.
Actually, this is perception.
Okay.
Investigation would be if you were like digging through it. Perception to take a cursory
Grab that
glance.
man's sandwich. Open it
That's
up.
a natural booking. 20 years. I know the sandwich. You're proficient in the sandwich.
You know this. You know this sandwich very well because it appears to be the same exact recipe as the greatest club sandwich that you have ever eaten to this day. This looks like the same sandwich that they serve at the Dewdrop Fang in Lugrieve.
A sandwich just like that before.
Really? It's
Yes.
quite a good one. Sandwich, you're a duvet. You are of the duvet family.
Yes.
Heavens, I knew your mother quite well. She was my supervisor for a number of years.
Yes, that's what I gathered. So I wanted to see what you know.
Right. Of course, that makes sense. Well, she was. She didn't arrive at her class that day, and I thought maybe something came up, but I didn't have the free time enough to make the trek all the way to Kalima, to Corcathmith myself from Kalima. So I waited, and she missed her class the next day as well. And that was when I thought that something had perhaps gone awry, and I contacted the authorities, who... They went...
they went to Corkathmith to investigate, and they found the house empty. There was evidence that some sort of scuffle had taken place, from what I know, and after that... excuse me, just a moment.
And he kind of like turns and opens a cabinet, or rather a drawer in the desk that he's sitting at, and kind of rifles through it a bit, pulls out a little potion bottle and pulls out the cork, takes a drink and like massaging his temple. Apologies.
Everything all right?
Yes, I a number of years ago, I suffer from a rare condition of the brain, the result of a cursed ingredient from my youth, I'm afraid. While not fully treatable, thankfully, Dean Calandria provides me with a tincture to ease the pain. I'm sorry, what was it we were talking about?
Are you lying?
Make an insight check.
Oh, no.
Also, Aurora, make a perception check.
Just That is a 14 for perception.
Was it
14.
3 for insight?
Nice. Aurora, you notice that there are a couple of other identical bottles within the drawer that he pulls one from before he closes it back. Cholula on a 3. He's hard to read. You've encountered now a number of people with strange brain conditions and memory loss issues. He doesn't appear to be faking it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Right. Miss Duvet. Forgive me. I'm sure that anyone on campus that you've spoken to has already told you this, but you are the spitting image of your mother.
No one's told me that actually, but I did find a photo in an old sort of commemorative school book.
Oh. Sorry, give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
I just remembered where Cholula's mother's name is.
Oh yeah, okay. I was thinking like, oh shit, we should have looked that up. But there were burrito vending machines.
A lot happened.
I don't know if it was how you wanted it to be
It was
described.
blood binders.
You pull
Here we are.
paper towels out of those like.
Oh,
That's what I
that-
thought it was. It was like they were all linked, and you were just pulling
no.
No. They're lengthwise, and it is a gravity feed.
I
You
don't know why
take
that's
one,
what
and
Like
the
one
thing
of those
closes, and
cubes at
another
the
one.
bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very much like when the lid opens, it blocks another one from. So you can't just like take infinite burritos. You have to.
Aww.
Wraps.
Yeah. Thank you.
The word burrito over this table is like.
You're the spitting image of Melisande. Professor Melisande, I should say. I'm sorry, my memories of really most things are a bit hazy, but
Interesting. One of the people that I travel with has similar sort of memory issues.
really,
Yes.
what sort of tincture does he use as a treatment?
Well, he doesn't, because when he started to remember things and Night Hag visited him in his dreams and told him that he wasn't supposed to be remembering anything.
Oh,
Strange.
that is strange. I can't say I've had any hags visit my dreams, to my knowledge at least.
Well, good. It sounds off.
But if you could, I don't know if I'll have a chance to meet this fellow, but any suggestions you have for coping with the splitting headaches, I would be most interested to know.
I would love to see this animated, and it just cuts over to Sylas and Rabbit just slamming drinks.
To forgetting. That's back.
7 years. You just wait.
So, you were sort of just underneath my mother.
Yes, I was her teaching assistant for a time.
Right.
I was, after a bit more training, I was elevated to fill her position upon her disappearance.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever talk about anything that wasn't, work-related?
Well, yes, I mean, kind of. We would talk about, obviously, our work-related refers to the application of magic to culinary arts. We would also discuss just regular cooking in our off time and share recipes and things of that nature. But I think I've still got a few of her recipes around here.
You do?
Something that would interest you.
Yes, absolutely.
Easy enough to make a copy.
Before our tavern got quaked to the ground, I was a cook until, we came here.
You don't say.
You're a chef?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fun.
That is astounding, really. So it must run in the family.
I suppose.
Give me just a moment.
And he turns and is kind of like going through various like drawers on this, like it's very kind of like, it's like a strange like science lab vibes to this room in terms of the layout and like the workstations,
tables, sinks.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of like it's all cooking. It's like a mixture between a science lab and like the set for a Great British Baking Show.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the area that would be like behind the two comedians, where there's usually like a bunch of fruit and stuff, there's also like drawers that he's going through and grabbing various things.
Send the old
We can all
people
relate to that, right?
I think we've all seen it.
Old people out.
The old people get to be there.
The old people should get to stay.
No, listen, they're old. They don't remember recipes. They're bad. They suck.
That's not always
Sometimes
true.
they remember all the recipes.
They're all
They just
kind
take
and
their
wholesome.
time.
And sometimes their little wrists can't whisk.
And it's
My
terrible.
hands can't whisk. Do I have to go home?
Yeah.
I can't
Brent
even
wants that
go.
full competitive
I can't
American
cook. I want to
British
see the
baking
hardcore cooking.
Hell's British baking show. I don't.
Yes.
Where am I?
I want it.
pretzel.
He goes through the various drawers and eventually pulls out a little scroll of paper. He was kind of like, yes. It's a simple recipe, nothing outrageous, but I remember one midsummer, coming up on another midsummer, very quickly approaching, if I recall correctly.
We should put a man in person.
We always like to split ideas with one another, and I asked what her favorite dessert was for a midsummer's feast, and she gave me this recipe. It's nothing fancy, but she wrote it herself.
And looking down in the handwriting, you see a very well organized recipe for just a simple kind of like spiced apple pie, like cinnamon spiced.
Please, you feel free to hold on to it.
Well, thank you.
Of course, I've made it so many times. There are some corners of my brain that I know will never slip away from me.
Yes. So, tell me, was there anything leading up to the disappearance that seemed off, or anything troubling going on at home? I was so young, I don't remember anything but, general happiness.
Anything that seemed off?
Was there maybe an issue at the school? No offense, but the routine kind of seemed a little, antsy when we brought up.
Dean Calandria.
Yeah,
Yes, I didn't notice, but apparently when I mentioned my mother, Aurora here, realized that she seemed lightly upset and
she
perspiring.
really beautiful and always calm. I mean, there are kind of animals flocking to her. And
You'll never find someone with more of an appreciation for the lives of living creatures. Truly, the juxtaposition to Dean of the Vane, Dean Valdwin, also a brilliant man, and she has always held her issue with the way that he goes about researching things, what with, the animal, not experimentation, but study, lots of dissections, and of course it hasn't stopped her from using the things he's learned from his research, but I'm sorry, I believe I've walked away from a question again.
Yes, if there was anything off or
Right.
strange that seemed to be going
Leading
on.
up to the disappearance, right?
any problems at home? Any problems at the school?
Financial problems or...
Not to my knowledge. She was very, very well paid between her earnings as a professor at the university and Hugo's earnings as a carpenter there.
He kind of like sits there for a moment, and you see just like a little trail of blood kind of come out from his nose.
Excuse me. Sorry, that will happen sometimes. Side effect of the tincture, I'm afraid.
Does he seem okay talking about this?
Make an insight check.
What sort of carpentry did my father do?
Oh, well, he, all sorts of things. I believe he specialized in different kinds of armoires or chests of drawers. Very, very gifted craftsman when it came to making not only a functional piece of furniture, but a work of art as well. These seemingly... how do I describe it? It's as if he... you would see a shape and you would think to yourself, this is a lovely sculpture, but then you pull on it here and there's a drawer there and it's full of storage. Truly a gifted craftsman.
Did he have a shop or did he work?
He worked from the home, as far as I know.
Right.
Have you visited it in Corcarthmith?
What was that?
In Corcarthmith? Have you visited your old family home?
We were there, but nothing seemed too familiar, and no one we talked to knew anything, so I wasn't really sure where to go.
I'm sorry. Last I had heard, number 6 Covey Trail was still standing, but I believe that's where... Funny, it just... Sometimes they come right to you, sometimes they're hidden in a fog of bleeding nostrils. What did you get on insight?
11.
11. Obviously something is wrong with this guy. He's clearly ill in some way.
It seems fine.
Yeah, I was like, did it seem directly connected to the mention of duvets? Is kind of what I'm...
Not particularly. Yeah.
Is there any reason that anyone else at the school, that Dean, for instance, would not want her to be here any longer?
Nothing that comes to mind, no. Dean Calandria, Professor Calandria at the time, was... technically, her station was above Melisandre's. She was not a direct supervisor, but a professor who also oversaw our branch of classes within the. She is a very practiced and Mr. Cavor renowned herbalist. So anything that comes to any type of alchemical concoctions or application of magical ingredients, it was overseen, still to this day is overseen by Dean Calandria.
Right.
But to my knowledge, I don't see that she would stand anything to gain from losing Melisande.
You said that there were authorities that came and were asking questions around. Was there any sort of...
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh.
Was there a lead investigator or anyone that you can remember the name of that might still be around?
It's all a bit hazy, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I know that it was the Lumen Inquirers.
The what?
The Lumen Inquirers. They are the investigative branch of the Kalima City Guard. They specialize in getting to the bottom of things in Kalima and the surrounding villages.
Right. Do you know anything about Night Hag's deal with Fae creatures?
Not a thing.
Mm.
Do you think that's somehow related?
Well, yes, I think so.
Does it seem normal for a professor at this school to not know what, like, a certain type of magical creature is? Or, like, I feel like as a professor he would know.
Make an insight check with advantage this time. Because I like where your brain's at. 23. Would you consent to one more whisper?
Yeah.
Ooh,
A whisper.
You should check out the Gilded
I just
Road.
was wondering why not technology. It didn't bother me. Whispers are fine.
Got the Gilded Rogue in our About section. You can buy clothes there. You can buy a pillow there. You can buy legging there.
Dog
You
collar.
can buy a dog collar there. Or very large cat collar.
and check out this baby cat and the little things that we have in the chat.
Emotions.
Check
our
out our
emotions.
emotions.
Our cat is in our emotion.
Check out our emotions right now.
She's
That's
in
good.
my emotion, the emotion fear.
She's just a baby.
She doesn't have any pants on.
No, she never wears pants. Not ever.
We buy her pants every day. She says no.
You buy them every day? Like,
Yeah.
She puts them in the fireplace.
Honestly, there's a couple of days where I sold them
Period.
back to the store and I bought the
Okay.
same ones.
That didn't sit right with me, no matter. Okay.
Oh, you scared them.
that jump was too risky.
My ankle didn't like it.
Oh,
It's okay, I'm fine.
at least you're sitting.
Yeah.
Unless we're about to fight this professor.
He pulls out a knife.
No!
It was in the same
It was in his nose. That's why he was bleeding.
There's a knife with a bite in it.
We feature fan art in the mid-roll if you want to.
So, okay. Is there anything you can tell me about it? Just...
Yeah, she was incredibly charming. I can't think of a single person that wasn't, at the very least, friendly with Melisande. Whether that be just because of how charming she was herself, or just because they wanted a chance to try her cooking. She was a treasure, and the school just hasn't been the same since she disappeared.
Yes. And the whole family.
Yeah.
I had a lot of brothers and sisters.
Yes, what was it, 15 children, she boasted. Very, very busy. Very, very busy.
Very charming, I guess.
Hugo seemed to think so.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes. Please, just call me Tippin. You're not my students.
Mr. Tippin, how have your classes been going recently? Have you been feeling comfortable teaching with
Oh, yes,
gaps in
absolutely.
memory?
Yes, as I said, the memory loss is very... the tinctures help. They keep it at bay, and thankfully it doesn't seem to have touched where I store away my recipes up there. Plus I keep copious notes, so if anything does slip the mind, I've got it quickly at hand, thankfully.
Well, I was wondering if possible. Cholula mentioned that one of our friends was having some memory issues, and I was wondering, since you get them from the professor, if it would be possible if we borrow one of your bottles.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
We can pay you for it.
Straight roll. I saw you roll those both at the same time. Just one more time with just a single d20. As Cholula uses the help action.
He said persuasion?
Yes.
13.
13. Well, they are specifically made by Dean Clandria for my specific condition. It sounds as though your friend might be suffering from something of a different nature, but I don't see how it could hurt to use it as a treatment, perhaps. Just one. No issue. I've got a couple left over if I need them. Please, no money required. Yeah, he hands over this vial that has this kind of like soft, glowing blue liquid that almost has these kind of like glittering swirls just constantly swirling through it. He hands it over to you.
Pop the cap and get like a quick whiff and see if it smells at all familiar.
What?
Fuck
Sure.
yeah.
Make a
Like, I imagine this would just...
like a history check.
It smells like chicken.
That'd be weird.
It smells like broth. It's weird.
Oh, healing potions though should be broth.
Yeah, it should be bone broth.
That's broth.
That's raw? No? Okay. This is 16.
16. It doesn't smell familiar. Like, it doesn't smell like a healing potion or like any potion that you've imbibed or been around. Careful not to leave the stopper off too long or it could lose potency.
I'll quickly seal it back.
Can I ask what happened?
Yes, in my younger days, I was a bit brash when it came to studies, and I was determined. It was my dream to be the first to discover a life-changing ingredient, something that could change the way that we think about potions and food. Most of my studies now are solid versions of potions, kind of transferring the healing properties or whatever properties have you of potions to a food that is not encased within an enchanted container, which is much harder than it sounds. You have to think of the food itself as the casing and sort of inject the magic into it, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, I've talked my way away from the question again. What was it that you had asked initially?
What happened?
Right. Yes, in my younger, brasher days, I was determined to find an ingredient that could change the world, change the way that we view magic and the culinary arts. And I was a bit careless, and I partook of a particular root. I haven't seen it since, nor have I heard tell of it. I have studied intently to find what it was. It was a dark black root with red veins. And I'm sure it sounds like, you see something that looks like that, don't put it in your mouth. But there is no knowledge to be gained without sacrifice. So I tried it, and ever since things have been... they easily elude me.
I'm so sorry. Where did you say you found that root?
Oh, I believe it was roundabouts. There are fields of lavender and wisteria between Mossendale and Galadorn. There's a marshland there. That, I believe, is where I found it.
Does this sound familiar at all? Like a big old lavender field? Have I?
Oh, yeah. They are famous. There's like the lavender plains south of Galadorn are so prevalent that they appear on the map. There's a map, that's why I winked at you. Sorry if that was creepy. I felt weird about it after.
You can see them from the space station.
It's in our Discord if you want to check it out.
It's in notes. Sick.
So, you mean
I'd become a model.
Stop.
Stop.
Who would you talk to next?
If I were you, I've always been more of a field researcher myself. I'd investigate the scene. I'd go to number 6 Covey Trail, and I would look around. I would see if there's anything that perhaps the Lumen Inquirers missed. Something overlooked, something forgotten.
So no one else has moved into the home, or?
Not to my knowledge, no. From what I have heard, it would appear that the street itself mostly has been abandoned for these years. A bit of superstition in Korkath myth.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising when you think of a town named for black cats, but...
Well. All right, well, thank you for your help and for this recipe.
Of course.
If you think of anything, you'll let us know.
Yes, absolutely. I've got a number of paper birds tucked away around here somewhere, and I know that you are Cholula Duvet. Let me just go ahead and make any...
He grabs not a paper bird, but just a piece of parchment and a quill, and he's like,
Cholula Duvet.
Yes.
So I don't forget. I will send you a message should anything come back to me.
Thank you.
Of course. It was a pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
So glad to know that there are still Duvets cooking in this world.
Yes, at least one of us. Thank you.
Of course. And a pleasure to meet you as well, Miss... forgive me, I've forgotten your name.
Oh, don't worry. It's Aurora. Thank you so much for the potion, our friend. I bet is really going to appreciate it.
Of course. Let me know if his condition improves upon its imbibement.
Yes.
And then Aurora is gonna very quickly grab Cholula's hand and squeeze it twice and pull her towards the door.
yeah.
What does that mean?
He picks up his sandwich and goes back to eating.
Fuck yeah, good sandwich.
As the two of you exit back into the dark wood hallway of Witterson's Hall, this particular pod.
I think this is fucking him up.
I was sort of wondering the same thing.
He's getting these from the routine, and
To make him forget something.
I can't prove it, but I think so. I think she's covering up something that happened to your mother, and I think we need to talk to her. I wish I could go in and crush all of those bottles, but I don't know. I don't know what she's doing yet, and I don't know if she's dangerous to us yet.
Yes, and something like that, you never know what sort of effect it would have if you had been taking it multiple times a day and then suddenly stop. There could be other adverse effects.
I think we need to tell Sylas and Rabbit. And I think we need to either try talking to her again, or we need to see what she's up to.
Yes, I agree. Let's see if we can find someone to let us back in through the pain or portal or whatever.
Yeah.
What is up, my dudes? Do you guys have classes here?
Oh my God.
We actually have passes for the library, but we need through the thing.
Fuck yeah, dude. Follow me.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Of all people.
As you meet up once more with Welby Durgington, the Goliath student here.
Aurora's gonna like push out her fist and just sort of.
Fuck yeah, dude.
She sort of hesitates.
Your hand explodes.
No, he's surprisingly gentle. Most of that force is like away.
Yeah.
He puts it all into the explosion.
Yeah,
Golden
the force
retriever
is
frat
like-
boy.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
A good boy.
Welby leads the two of you back to the archway into the pocket dimension, and I would imagine eventually you all find your way back to the Biblioplex.
Are we drunk?
How much have you marked off already in terms of, because this is kind of how I'm gauging
I
the
purchased,
time you have left in the library?
I purchased 5 or 6 rounds.
5 or 6 rounds. Okay.
And those were shot beers.
Yeah, and you guys aren't super. You're not like slow drinkers, but you're not super fast drinkers.
We
so-
were not while we were there.
Yeah, so each of those rounds was probably 15 to 20 minutes, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
So that's roundabouts, like hour 40, about 2 hours. We'll call it 2 hours. Both of you make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Just hoping you'd come to that conclusion.
I had to figure out how long it's been first.
16.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, you are not by any means sober, but you're not like blackout useless.
Great.
Mission accomplished. As you head back to the Biblioplex.
Mission accomplished. It kind of ties to what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
check off a side quest.
Yeah.
Get hammered.
You should apologize to Aurora.
I was going to apologize to everyone.
As you're walking through this kind of like beautiful outdoor back streets with the kind of like faux winds that have been magically enchanted to exist here in
How
this
could you even
demi-plane.
study here? You think they get jaded. You think like, oh, I don't even think this is beautiful anymore. You know,
I mean,
they
it's
see it
just
every
a
day.
school, right? It's fine.
I've never seen anything like
Why would you
this.
put books in it?
Aurora will sort of like pop up right next to them.
No, I think I could stay here forever. It
gotta
rains in
take you
certain
with
parts.
Yeah.
Oh no. I thought one drink.
One drink my ass.
You can blame that on me.
That's fair.
That's what I was going to say.
That's not responsible.
I made him do it.
By force?
How much time do we have left for the library?
Between all of your meetings and the time spent drinking, you guys probably have a good, still like, probably 15 hours.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, dude. Grip it and rip it, bro.
Oh, me too, me too, me too.
Hey,
I would like to read
We met.
to the best of my ability about the island of
Rovenghoul.
Rovenghoul.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
What's everybody else looking into for their final 15 hours of library time?
Aurora,
Dear dude.
we should
God,
try
dude.
to see if there are any books about any sort of potions that inhibit memory retainment. I read books. Retention.
So
Fuck yeah. I got it.
I can help you skim some and figure out some stuff. There were a couple of things that I feel like I kind of wasted my first 24 looking up some stuff. And I think it's time for me to grow up and start being more helpful to the gang. So I can help you with that, but then I gotta go look up some stuff.
Oh, of course, and I can help you look up whatever you need to. It's, we're all here together.
I don't feel like I have been so far, but that's my problem, and I'm gonna fix it.
Okay.
So I was just like grabbing books and just like, no. It's just like, okay.
What'd you roll on investigation?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, not bad. All right, fresh page. Give me a moment. Researching Rovenghoul.
Am I remembering correctly that did they mention a tree in the meeting place?
No, all that was mentioned was meeting at the Lantern on the Isle of
That's what it
Rovenghoul.
was, the
Yeah,
lantern.
and we learned about that a little bit more from
You know that it is.
Astrolot.
Yeah, you know that it is a place. It is another research laboratory.
It is a total place.
Totally a place, dude.
I'm so sorry.
That was a different human that just spoke out of your body.
Yeah. I keep trapped in the sneezes.
What is everybody else looking into?
We're looking into anything about what this potion might be, and then whatever
Memory loss potions.
whatever Aurora was wanting to look into, I was going to help her with that as well. We're helping each other out.
Okay.
Yes.
Steady.
So that'll give each of you advantage on your investigation checks. However, your DCs are a little bit higher because your time is split.
Okay.
I was going to track down Rabbit
Okay.
and ask them if they could look up how to get to the ethereal plane.
Rabbit, you are approached by Aurora about this.
I think it'd be real helpful to Sylas if you two seem pretty close, at least closer than I am, and I owe him an apology, and I don't really know how to do that, so help is the best I can do. I'll buy you a round of drinks.
Baby,
I'm on it.
baby. Don't roll that one.
Wonderful. So what does Rabbit off to do again?
I'm looking up how to get to the ethereal plane.
Perfect.
Roll the other one that is a shittier roll, please. Or just keep. What'd you get?
Out to the ethereal. And then, okay, so we've got Isle of Rovenghoul. We've got memory loss potions with help from Aurora. Rabbit is looking up how to get to the ethereal plane.
Mm-hmm.
What is Aurora herself looking into with Cholula's help?
Can
Fuck yeah, dude.
What you do?
That has to be a shirt now.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know if that should be a shirt, actually, now that I think about it.
Can we get actually
a
sunglasses
patch.
that along the side
Yeah,
Yeah.
say fuck yeah, dude?
or like a sticker.
can I look up cults?
Dude.
And how, like, if there are any how-to guides for dummies of how to get your family out of a cult,
Help my family's in a cult.
you're in a cult. Call your dad.
Okay, so
Call your dad.
you're looking up.
So you're in a cult.
Essentially, Aurora is looking into.
Religion?
She's kind of looking into philosophical therapeutic books of reversing problematic ideologies.
Chicken soup for the programmed.
Yeah. Or how to not a cult.
I was writing down philosophical, probably spelled that wrong. I'm going to write how
You
to
can't
not
spell
cult.
philosophical.
That's what I wrote down. How to not occult. Wonderful. So we've got the Rovenghoul roll already. Cholula, you made your roll.
Yeah, and before she rolled it, I got a fucking freaking 20.
A natural 20? A
Frickin'.
freaking fucking. I rolled a freaking fucking 20, bro.
Sorry for my
yeah.
language. Freaking fucking bitch.
Excuse my potty mouth. But fuck.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Excuse my potty mouth, but fuck yeah, dude.
Frick yeah, bitch.
It was the frick.
Everything's
before
falling
the
apart.
fuck freak.
Yeah.
Frickle, fuckle.
How to ethereal plane. Investigation.
Investigation. That's a 10.
Hey, listen, I did that one time.
You don't read books?
What time is it?
Of day?
Yeah.
Let's see. You woke up in the morning and spent about 6 hours fucking around. So like 2 in the afternoon?
Can I luck point? Try that again.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'll say because technically you did not have the outcome. Also, I believe the way that the luck feat is written, do you have to keep the second roll? Or do you get to choose?
Whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw,
Ability check.
you can spend one roll, or you can spend 1 point to roll an additional d20, and you choose which die to use.
Perfect.
Okay.
I will use the first one.
So 10.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Things went poorly.
And with advantage, how to not occult.
Oh.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
With advantage because Cholula is helping you as well.
I thought it would just be for the one. Okay.
No, you're technically you're spending half of your time using the help action for someone else.
Well, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
It's so close to a nat 20, it's not. But, like, it is technically a 23.
Fuck yeah, dude. Worth noting, you got a natural 20, Cholula.
Yes.
What does that bring your full total to? Just so I know.
Investigation, 22.
Okay, not bad. Rad. So, we will begin with Sylas. You rolled a dirty 20, correct?
18 plus 2.
To learn about the Isle of Rovenghoul, I'm going to read you a little blurb. Let me proofread it first to make sure I don't say anything that I shouldn't.
First founded by Sylas's family. Oh, damn it!
Ah, shit! Okay. Tucked away within the dense rainforests of southern Mistinor, near Kalima, is the Isle of Rovenghoul. Surrounded by Lake Mendeleth, the largest lake in all of Kavora, sometimes called the Sea of Mendeleth, is a landlocked, so technically lake, but very large body of water that contained within the center is the Isle of Rovenghoul, which is, for like a real world perspective on like size, Rovenghoul is about the size of like the DFW Metroplex. It is a large, it's like the size of a state almost. Very, very large island. Said to be among the most magical and dangerous places in all of Kavora. Magic behaves strangely here. It is amplified and unstable. Those who cast spells on the island, and around in like the surrounding areas of the island are said to have less control over said spells. Sometimes there are strange side effects that happen due to these spells being cast, and sometimes the spells take on a life of their own, becoming not quite sentient, but living. Living spells are said to reside on the island, protecting it from invaders or those who would try and steal its essence for themselves. And that's pretty much what you find about the Isle of Rovengul. No mentions of the lantern or any
For sure.
secret cult laboratories.
Like a back way researcher way of looking at the book. Does it seem like this was this book dedicated to this one? To this
Yes.
subject?
There are a number of tomes. Like, this is the rest of your 14 hours
Yeah.
are reading and skimming and reading and skimming through
Right.
piles and piles of
But
tomes.
the tomes are dedicated to the island.
Yes.
Do they seem explorative or do they seem tales?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
Which is to say, there aren't many that are explorative. There aren't many people who have explored the island, especially those
Maybe
who
like
are...
a traveler's journal, like a cartographer's journal.
Right. It hasn't been mapped other than like a rudimentary coastline. But yeah, no one has like made a topographic map or anything of that nature on Rovengul. It is one of the most mysterious, easily accessible places left in Kavora. A lot of the writings akin it to Thalioth. That was, and on your Journey 20, I'll give you guys some information so I can give the audience some information, because I know that you guys know most of this. Thalioth is a floating island that was kind of like hovering off of the coast of Vassakir, another continent on Kavora. I think the continent directly to the west from Mistinor.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Vassakir. Yeah, I'm doing it from my perspective. I'll do it from their perspective. You've got Vassakir over here in the west. Mistinor kind of central, Grimdal below that. Windfell kind of up into the east. And then, who knows? There are portions of Kavor that are still unexplored. Thalioth was a floating island that it is now known was the cause of a massive spell that was cast to essentially imprison an ancient lich in a place where they could not harm anyone. It was ripped up from the earth and floating there in the sky as a prison. And as such, a number of different peoples and cities were torn up with it. It was a large chunk of land. And the things that lived on this island were able to change and evolve in ways different to things on the rest of Kavora, because they were kind of like separated and untouched. Up in the sky, there was less oxygen. There was a lot of different factors. It did recently come crashing down and is now the Isle of Thalioth to the southeast of Vassakir, and is currently being explored by various adventuring groups and those who are brave enough to check it out. And Rovengul is kind of likened to that. In your research, Lake Mendeleth surrounding Rovengul is said to be home to various large sea creatures and leviathans that some postulate are amplified by the magical nature of the island itself. And it is not an easy place to access, and as such has been kind of separated from the rest of Mistinor, the rest of Kavora for a long time, and things have just been kind of going as they will there. It is one of the last bastions of true wilds, mixed within ridiculous wild magic surges, and the place that is rumored to be the birthplace of magic within all of Kavora, where it bleeds from the weave into the material plane. In short, there haven't been a lot of expeditions there, and it seems like a pretty dangerous place to exist.
And one last question. If there are maps that resemble scale, or, kind of cross-referencing the 14 some odd primaries that you said, would it be possible to gauge the length of time it would take to traverse, to get there and also to cross the water?
Crossing the water is harder to gauge because crossing the water relies on a number of different factors.
But yeah, just based on distance, looking at a map.
Based on distance. So it took you guys by cart about 8 hours to get from Lugrieve to Kalima. Or rather, Lugrieve to Corcathnith. And then it was another 2 hours from Corcathnith to Kalima. So by that math, to get from Kalima to the edge of Lake Mendeleth would take, on a cart, maybe 3 hours travel to get to the coast of the lake. Judging purely by distance, it would be another 2 hours across the water to get to the island. It is visible from the shore, but not greatly visible.
Okay.
And this is all by cart in terms of hours. In terms of miles, you are about probably 15 miles from the shore in Kalima. And then it's another 15 miles to the island, which is then, based on the charts that you have access to get from one end of Rovengul to the other would probably take about 2 days travel on foot, about 60 miles.
Okay.
Pretty sure all that math checks out. Don't at me.
Or do at him.
Or do at me. At Arcanarama Show on Twitter.
Send us the tweets.
So that covers what Sylas learns about Rovengul, which is more than nothing.
Oh!
Rabbit.
I'm next.
Investigating how to reach the ethereal plane. With a 10, there is a lot of very dense verbiage in a lot of these books, and a lot of them are discussing kind of arcane means that don't really make a lot of sense to you, talking about accessing the weave and harnessing it to channel through the sound vibrations of, and just like a lot of flowery. It's like reading it's like reading a flourishly written novel, but about history, so it's less interesting. However, there are also a couple of stories about, like fairy tales and things that discuss how everyone enters the ethereal plane when they go to sleep. That's where dreams happen. Your consciousness enters the ethereal plane, and that's where you exist while you're sleeping. It still doesn't really make still doesn't make a lot of sense to you because you just meditate. You don't really go to sleep as an elf.
Sleep. All right.
Sick.
You need more of it when you turn 12.
The gist that you get from your research is that it is not an easy thing to just step into this plane if you're not innately born a creature that can do so. It is some very complicated shit.
Great.
But there are people who can do it. There are technically potions that can not get you all the way there, but kind of overlap it with the material plane.
Next week, the gang does POD.
There's a cactus that...
You'll need a guide. Trust me. And a toilet.
Oh, I
And a
heard
cold
there's-
rag.
I heard that there's like a business for that though.
Yeah.
I've heard it's not trustworthy.
Yeah,
From the
I've
horror
definitely
stories
heard-
that I've heard.
Yeah, I've definitely heard to leave most belongings elsewhere.
Wonderful. That's what you garner about
Great.
the ethereal plane
That
with
was
a 10.
very helpful.
Yeah.
Not unhelpful.
Roll better than a fucking 10, kid.
How to not occult.
Sick.
No.
I am going to blanket this with a statement that I personally am not. I am not a therapist. I am not.
You're not a cult
I am
expert.
not a philosopher. I'm not an expert on cults.
This is a game.
I
He's
watched.
being modest.
I watched a made-for-TV documentary about Heaven's Gate recently.
Oh.
That's about to the extent of my knowledge.
Great
Is it the one on
soundtrack, is it?
HBO? There's a good one on HBO.
It wasn't. It wasn't a good
Dude,
one.
the soundtrack of it
Oh
was
my
so
god!
I'm gonna check that out now, though.
It's so good.
It is something that fascinates me and that I'm interested in, but I have not researched it a lot. So take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. If you know
If
someone,
you're in a cult.
Yeah.
or if you know someone who is affected by something like this, I don't.
Return to escape.
Oh, I'm gonna throw.
Obviously, this is research that I'm going to do if this is where the story is going. But
Fuck yeah.
based on your research, there isn't a lot about philosophy and therapy within this library. It focuses mainly on history, magical history. A little bit, it touches on the divine and religions and things like that. And kind of tucked away in those sections on the various religions are various fringe religions and a number of what are called false religions there is proof in this world. The gods did exist at one time. And at a certain point, there was a great severance where there's not a lot that's known about it. It's kind of a dark area in history where some shit went down and then the gods weren't on the material plane anymore. They fucked off, willingly or unwillingly, nobody knows. They left, but their presence does linger, and they are physical beings that do exist. There are people who have attempted and failed, and a few cases of people who have attempted and succeeded to ascend to godhood, and left this material plane to join the gods on whatever plane it is that they exist on. There are, however, false gods, incredibly powerful people who claim to be deities and convince others to follow them and do their bidding through shows of great power, often, or manipulation. And this is essentially the birth of cults. People who claim to have either a connection to a higher being that doesn't actually exist, or claiming that they themselves are an avatar of this higher being. When it comes to getting someone out of this situation, it is not an easy thing to do, because often, depending on the age of the society or the cult, it's possible that they were born and raised with this ideology and that it's all that they know. Aurora knows this to be the case with her parents. Since they have been alive, they have been members of the Silver Stake, worshippers of the Silver Flame, and its light burns brightly within their hearts. In order to sever someone from such toxic and ingrained ideology is not something that you can just do with a couple of conversations. It takes, first and foremost, a willingness from the person involved to acknowledge that there is something amiss with their ideology, and then to take the steps to separate themselves from it. In your research with a 23, there haven't been any successful attempts at getting someone to just leave a cult by making them do so. It has to be their idea, essentially. But with a 23, and with the research that you've been doing with Cholula, there are certain spells that exist that can change someone's mind, make them forget things, make them remember different things. It is very, very complex magic, pretty high-level stuff, but it does exist. And you get the sense that, based on what Sylas has been saying, you could potentially reverse engineer what this Night Hag has been doing, where they've approached these people who are having states of mental despair and manipulating them into following this silver flame, this higher power. And you could maybe just go in and change those memories, make them have a different ideology. Whether that is moral, it's a pretty gray area. But the idea strikes you. That's what your research finds with the 23. Memory loss potions with a natural 20 from Cholula.
I did one.
So, you've all been getting help from various librarians in your research. They've come to grow to know who you are as people in the hours that you've spent gaining their aid. Cholula, you are being helped in particular by a tiefling, who has these kind of like very wide, downturned, thick horns, akin to that of like a water buffalo. It's like almost a middle part, but horns.
Those are in right
The
now.
jeans are obsessed.
Yeah. Yeah. You meet a K-pop tiefling. Whose name is Berhard Vadani.
Yep.
How dare you?
He's been helping you with your
That's what
research.
that is.
I see that you have shifted your focus a bit there. You are looking into potions that have to do with memory loss, huh?
Yes.
What has led you in this direction?
I have suspicions.
Oh, what are your suspicions, if I might ask?
There's a professor here that's been given some potions as a sort of medicine,
Right.
but I think it's the cause of the problem. And one of the other people that work here is doing it on purpose. But you didn't hear from me.
Tea has been spilled. I mean, there would be no way to prove this unless you could... You would have to somehow get a specimen of the potions that was being taken. You have specimen from the potion?
She has it.
I could identify it for you. I could tell you exactly what it is.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah? Potion. He can identify it. Stage whispers.
Yes, he kind of like flips through his book. I could use this today, instantaneously. Normally I would take 10 minutes to set up a ritual and there's a lot of drawing, but I came prepared today.
Whatever you find stays between us.
I will not tell a single soul outside of this room.
Does he seem like a gossip?
How many people are in this room?
40.
Technically, the library is one big room.
This room is fucking massive.
Make an insight check.
In
And the conference room.
the conference room.
23. This guy has been rolling nothing but 19s tonight.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Uh-oh.
You've only known Berhard Vadani for a number of hours, but you know that he would die before he told someone's secret to someone who didn't know it. I would literally die. I was using a turn of phrase. I will tell no one. Not even people in this room. I won't even tell you again.
No, you have
Except
to.
for the first time.
Oh.
Maybe we should.
I won't even tell you.
It is too dangerous here, though. If what you say is potentially the truth, we need to do this somewhere no one in the library would ever think to look.
The conference room.
The conference room.
Oh my god!
What does
We
that
high five. And
You high five and you follow as Berhard, trying to keep it cool. Kind of like puts his hood up and takes you to the conference room, like keeping an eye out and closing the door behind him.
Someone has been sleeping in here.
Who has been napping in the conference room?
Rabbit sleeping in the dark.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
It
Let
was us.
Let us investigate this potion.
And Aurora sort of gently handed over.
He stares at it, and his eyes kind of like glow with this bright violet, almost pink light.
You almost had it.
Almost, I was this close.
If you
I've been
ever
working
do
really
that at
hard.
this table,
What?
if you ever emit pink light from your eyes, I will walk.
I've been drinking
I will
potions of
marry
my
you.
own.
Please begin to emit light from your eyes.
I do not know exactly. That I do not. I don't know why I'm. Sorry, I'm reading words and saying words that I don't need to be saying.
That's right.
I get it.
I know exactly what this potion is. This is very complex stuff. Incredibly well made. This tincture, it does not appear to be a mind-altering. Rather, it does not appear to affect memory. It is a very complex twist on a sort of a calm emotions potion, if you will. It seems... Tell me again what your theory is, and I will try to put the pieces together.
Listen, baby cat. Tell him again what?
What your theory is? What is your theory? Your theory.
My theory is that something bad,
Excuse me.
something bad happened, and this professor knows about it, and
Right.
so the other one doesn't want them talking about it or remembering what happened, and so they make this to help them, but it keeps them from knowing things, and he's got nosebleeds and headaches.
Forgive me. I was looking over your shoulder earlier when you were doing some research. You were looking into the modify memory spell, correct?
Well, yeah, just for a second, I thought I
Right,
could...
right. This would give you the ability to change or modify someone's memory. Not only makes them forget something, makes them remember something that is untrue. But the way that the spell exists, and I only have a little bit of knowledge about it, it is above my abilities. But my understanding from the research that I have done is that if the person whose mind has been modified starts to remember, starts to not remember, but starts to put together the missing pieces, recognizing blank spaces, the whole thing begins to unravel and fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it is dispelled if they read too far into it. So perhaps these tinctures, if the spell was applied by a very practiced arcanist, it could cause them pain and discomfort to begin dispelling the spell with their memories in their brain. And this tincture, while provided as a potential painkiller, what it is in reality doing, it is calming their emotions, making their mind drift and wander away. They stop putting the pieces together. And thus, their memory stays modified.
If someone's memory has been modified, is there maybe a potion that they could take that would cure that? Suppose we replaced...
I don't know about potions, but I know that there are divine magics that could do something. There is a particular spell that clerics and... I think just clerics know. Maybe some other people. It is, again, divine magic's not my strong suit. I am an arcane guy, through and through. But I think a restorative spell of some kind could put the pieces back together and remove the pieces that do not belong in this puzzle.
Do you know anyone that could discreetly perform that for us on this professor without the person giving him the tincture knowing about it?
I would prefer not to be involved, but I do love a good heist.
Yes.
So if I were going to pull one off, what I would probably do is wait until they are sleeping. Sneak the cleric into the room and restore them in their sleep. That way, they would not know that they were being restored. They would wake up with their memories intact, the way that they were. And there would be, theoretically, no resistance, because technically they are unconscious.
So here's the problem. The professor...
Oh, I'm sorry. This has all been very hypothetical, and a lot of theories have been thrown around.
Yes.
But,
I think for your safety, you've given us enough information.
What I'm saying is,
well, any good
their
researcher...
classroom is not within the pocket dimension, so I don't know how that sort of spell would go over if they're in their sleep, not just out in the wilds.
I would assume that this professor does also not sleep in their classroom.
I don't know where they sleep.
But perhaps
Everybody knows that teachers live at school.
Live at school.
Does this
That would
seem like
be-
a campus that the
That would
teachers
be a dystopian sadness.
Yeah.
make an insight check.
Just wake up. Oh, hey, class.
So, before we go any further down this rabbit hole of mystique and intrigue, what is it that this professor thought these potions did?
They think
Because that... I'm sorry.
they think that that something else caused their memory lapses,
Right, the
And-
memory that was modified.
and they thought that they took a bite of a root that they shouldn't have, and that this other professor is giving them a tincture that helps to regulate that and keep
Like
the
a painkiller.
I believe so. It helps them, supposed to help them focus,
I see.
I think.
Well,
Right?
I don't know about you, but for me, that all but solidifies it, because this potion, it would not ease pain. It would not make focusing easier. If anything, it would make focusing harder. It is like any emotions that you are feeling gets tucked away and bottled away, and your memories wander to only good things.
Yes, even just trying to have a conversation about,
Rather, not good things, but indifference.
yes, trying to discuss anything with this professor earlier. We talked for what, 20, 30 minutes? And they had
Maybe longer.
multiple lapses, a nosebleed, a
This is
headache.
a person who is currently teaching at the school.
Yes.
That is preposterous. No one with that many lapses in memory should be teaching a class of students. They're unreliable.
I asked. He seemed to be able to recall his classes and be able to return the information, but
So it's almost like
But I think
all other memories are perfectly intact.
I think
Yeah.
what I was asking him about specifically was causing the pain to happen because he was putting together memories that he isn't supposed to.
I see.
What?
You rolled a nat 20 and made a character.
You birthed an NPC.
You rolled so well.
He's
A
great.
person exists. No,
I
they're
feel
amazing.
I feel like peek behind the screen. I feel like it's better, other than just being like, "Oh, you rolled a nat 20. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going
Yeah,
on."
you read a
I still
book.
think there needs to be some work involved, but
Yeah,
you'll
you-
have a very helpful person
For sure.
to help
No,
find the pieces,
I ain't mad.
so that you can
I
put
just-
them in place.
I've been thinking about it ever since he was like, "Let me help you." I was like, "Motherfucker."
Hello,
Is that a
I
new
exist
rule?
now.
Hi, I'm really prepared.
I have
Hello,
incredibly
I was
high
just
intelligence.
born.
I'm a wizard who works in a library at a college.
Ah! Hello.
He looks in a mirror and puts his hand on it. Who am I?
Well, I see our 20s.
This is dastardly stuff.
Yes.
I don't want to know who's involved.
No,
I don't want
'cause
to know
if
the
you
teacher.
Did, you would shit your pants.
I probably and I just put on clean pants. I just washed these yesterday. So I'd rather not. Also, this library has like a lot of cool stuff in it, and also it pays pretty good. So I'd prefer to not have to quit for moral reasons.
Yes.
So I don't want to know who's involved. I don't want to know who did it. In fact, I'm going to wash my hands of the situation. I'm going to prestidigitate them of it right now.
Can I ask you one more hypothetical question?
Okay, one more.
Okay.
But I just pressed it.
It's okay, it's a cantrip. I can do it as many times as I want in a day.
Pretend if there was someone who was very high up that did something like this,
Right?
how would you approach that situation? If you found it to be true that someone very high up here at the college was doing something real bad.
He's gonna make an insight check to see if he knows how high up you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. There are two options.
He rolled a natural 4.
Okay.
I was gonna say he does not need to be very, very smart to pull this off.
Well, it depends on how high up this person is. But precisely for reasons like this, there are checks and balances in place within the faculties of Wiltbloom College, so that it
So,
is.
like, if there's one here, there's an opposite sort of.
Of course,
to
there
check
are these kind of conflicting ideals or points of view, perfectly personified by the two deans. There's the Dean of the Vein and the Dean of the Root, one who appreciates and worships all living things and the life that they provide, and then there's one that learns things through death and is an embodiment of undeath himself. So if one of these two were pulling more in a direction than the other, then the other would be the counterbalance to that. They perfectly cancel each other out.
Right, so if there's like a daytime professor that teaches this thing, there's a nighttime professor that teaches the opposite. And
That
so,
is exactly how the college works, yes.
Right, so that if one of them was doing something bad, you would go to the
You would go
counterpart
to
and
the
be
other
like,
one,
"Look."
yes, and you'd be like, hey, but you'd have to have some pretty substantial truth. Do not lose that potion bottle.
Yes.
And do not take the stop out, it could lose its potency.
Right.
But if you presented this evidence, you would probably need a bit more proof to make it an official thing.
Like if they were restored and had their memories back.
That would do it, yes. I would think so. And then also presenting the potion so that, honestly, either one of the two deans would easily be able to identify these potions as well. Probably Calandria, best of all. She is a world-renowned herbalist and
sure.
is a great potion maker. She could probably put together something like this lickety-split.
Yes,
So-
I'm sure she would know all about it.
So you could just take it to one of them and have them identify it.
I'm just rubbing that forehead. It's like, yeah. I wish you would.
So you could just take it to one of them and have them identify it and present your case, and whatever teacher is involved, they would probably not only be fired, but this is like, that's some illegal shit. That's like, you go to jail for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, this has been a very fun, explorative, imaginative.
Theoretical conversation about the checks and balances of the school.
Mm-hmm.
You should clear your hands.
Yes.
Of that again.
Just like layer of like dry skin, just like, and then to the side, onto a pillow.
Yeah.
And we were never having this conversation.
Yes, I've never even met you before. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Closes the conference room door and leaves you in the beige room with the blue carpet to think on what you've just discovered.
We need to talk to Sylas.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Arcanarama Intrigue. But before we go, we have a giveaway to announce.
Yeah.
For what?
You know what it is?
It's the Fancy Forge Aged Bronze Resin Dice Giveaway.
Dice that are not.
What are we? We're giving away two
bronze.
things?
Yeah.
Every stream almost?
Almost.
So one of them
Almost.
is a box of like 4 things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
technically,
then the
this
other
is
one
like
is a bag of like, how many of these?
Congratulations, we
There's
firm.
7 dice.
This bad
8
boy's coming
dice, 'cause
straight
there's
to
a
you.
jumbo.
Jumbo!
That's an avocado.
Also, it is worth noting that if you are a citizen of Quebec, sadly, you are ineligible. However, otherwise, if you don't live in Quebec and if you are a follower of the channel, that is something that you do by clicking the little heart. It's free. It lets us know that you like it, and it lets us know that we like you. And it also makes you eligible to enter the giveaways and win them. So with all that being said, the winner of tonight's Fantasy Forge Aged Bronze Resin Dice Giveaway is Nidalva. It's Nidaylva.
you started saying letters tonight.
Nidalva. I'm sure I'm butchering it. I apologize.
Hey, you won.
But congratulations to you.
The name closest to that. And
Yeah.
don't change your name.
Yeah, join our Discord through the link in our About section and tell me how to pronounce your name,
I think this
please.
person is already in Discord.
Oh, rad.
Say
That's cool.
hi.
Well, in that case, we will either get in contact with you there or through our Twitch whispers. I would imagine that Stream Director Robbie is probably already on top of that shit, getting your contact info so that we can figure out where to send this beautiful set of dice to. Prizes go out at the end of the month, so there will be a week or so before they go. Yeah, can you toss that over here? I think that's actually done.
Tell them.
Thank you.
Nita Yilva.
Applause for me
Nita Yiva.
Nita
for doing a
Nita
good
Nita
job.
Yilva.
Nita Yiva.
Congratulations,
I go like,
Nita
shoop.
Yilva, on your beautiful, beautiful aged bronze and turquoise Fantasy
Oh
Forge
my
dice.
god, they're so pretty. They're so shiny. Oh my god. Is
They're
there a
beautiful.
jumbo in there?
There is a jumbo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is-
You got a thick boy.
Yeah, it is an 8-piece set, so there are 2 D20s. One of them is a lot bigger than the other. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a blast of a stream.
This was crazy.
It's 2 in a row now where we haven't
Yeah.
had combat, but I'm still having a great time.
So great job.
Where else can you
There
get
was
it?
a little bit of combat. There was a little bit of combat
Interrogation,
between
I feel.
Sylas and Aurora.
That's true. That's true. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we've got
Makes the
session
friendship strong.
3 of Overdark on Monday.
Never forget.
Well, if you are a subscriber to the channel, you can check out, I think, both past episodes up until Monday. The first session will go away, but on Wednesday, the second half of that first session will be up on YouTube, so for your viewing pleasure. Session 2 should still be in our VODs on Twitch if you are a subscriber, they're available to you up until not this Monday, but the next Monday. So, yeah, we've got that on Monday. We've got an Arcanarama stream on Tuesday. I don't even know what we're going to be drawing yet, but we're going to be drawing something. And don't forget, when we hit 200 followers here on Twitch, we are going to be going through all of us, all 5 of us, maybe even 6 of us if stream director Robbie wants to hop in too.
Oh, snap.
We're going to be doing a charity stream where we're going to go page by page through the monster manual and redraw it to be sexy.
Gosh.
Have you ever wanted to, like, fight something that you kind of wanted to sleep with?
Don't answer that.
Jason. It's like
Jason Momoa?
Voorhees. Jason Voorhees.
Oh.
No, I need you to explain.
Wait, like pre...
No.
late?
Okay, we have more things that we need to talk about before we leave. So,
Are we going to continue our Stream Daddy, Dream Daddies
Oh,
on
yeah.
Wednesday?
Until Dream Daddies has been completed, we're going to play that entire game.
You're gonna keep going
yeah,
till
and
completion.
I'm sneaking in on that one. I'm going to be there
He's
next
gonna
Wednesday.
help us with some
Yeah.
voices.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we
going to be
played-
some daddies.
Yeah, we play
Oh.
Dream Daddy, and we do all the voices.
I'm
And
gonna
we
be
do
hanging
take
out
requests.
in
We
the chat
do.
until bedtime.
Apparently take requests.
Hell yeah, it's a wonderful time. So that's going to be on Wednesday at 9 p.m. is when we do Arcadorama, which is the stream where we play video games
And they're
talk
still
to you.
deciding which daddy to romance. So
Yeah, I mean, we've technically slept with Robert.
Yeah, we did.
There was a one-night stand, spoilers.
God.
Spicy.
But who knows?
Spicy.
We might find love. Spicy.
Take that back.
Adult kiss and tell, Gary.
Gary.
So look forward to that on Wednesday. We're going to be off on Thursday and Friday, and then we'll be right back at you with the next episode 24 of Arcanarama
we stream a lot.
next Saturday. We stream a lot. So follow us to be privy to it.
We gotta fill up Thursday and Friday.
We got to start posting all of our
Absolutely,
deities on
maybe
YouTube
not.
and not just this show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking with us to the end. Again, give us a follow here on Twitch. It's free to do, and it makes us feel nice, and we appreciate it. We'll see all of you in the next stream. But until then, stay safe out there, adventurers.
I really have like a problem with timing. Is really like the issue.
Stay safe.
Stay
Like,
stay
I don't know
safe
when you
out
guys are gonna
there,
start,
adventurers.
and I would just
I'm
like
like
start.
doing weird, like
Commit.
almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Faye's voice. Stay safe out there, adventurers.
The Adventurer.
Hello, adventurers.